as a youngin, and he really didn't talk to rookies as much, unless you did something.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is Prevent, Promote, Protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
Hi, this is Lauren from Orsini's right here in Martinsburg. Grilling is not just for the boys. We are a Platinum Traeger dealer carrying the Pro Series all the way up to the Timberline Series. We have every flavor of wood pellets along with accessories, rubs, sauces. Not just Traeger, we carry Utz, Meat Church, Lanes, and Dizzy Pig. We also carry a full line of Yeti products. Orsini's has everything to complete your backyard. Visit us at 360 Hack Wilson Way or at Orsinis.com.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve.
The Skinner Law Firm, SkinnerFirm.com.
The Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. It's no wonder Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda the 2022 Best Value brand.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
Based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
The following sports broadcast is a special presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. It's time for the excitement of West Virginia high school basketball. Today's high school basketball broadcast is being brought to you by
Bechtel Jewelers, Brown's Funeral Home and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, CMA Honda of Winchester, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, the Mirius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, Hagerstown Ford, Orsini's Home Store, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, and WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Center.
And now, let's go courtside and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team with today's pregame show.
Good evening from inside the Cougar cage at Jefferson High School for tonight's West Virginia High School girls basketball contest featuring the Martinsburg Lady Bulldogs and the Jefferson Lady Cougars, as we welcome you into the countdown to tip-off, brought to you by Sunset Water Services, proudly installing water softeners in Martinsburg and Berkeley County since 1989. I'm Colin McLaughlin for Talk Radio WRNR and TV10. Alongside me on the call is Dylan Bishop. Our cameramen on the TV10 side are Nick Verzolini and Gerald Wright, and back at the studio, it's Spencer Dupuis. Martinsburg 5-8 overall, 3-2 in the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference. That's put them in second in the EPAC. Jefferson currently in fifth, even though they're 5-9 overall, but their conference record is 2-4 after a loss last night at the hands of the Musselman Applemen. But Dylan, tonight should be a fun one.
Yeah, it should be. This is a pretty important game for Martinsburg as they sit at 3-2 in the conference here in second place, and of course at third place Washington at 4-3. So this is a game that can, if they lose, set them back to third place, and a win can put them solidly a half a game ahead of Washington for that second place spot. And Jefferson on the other side trying to stop a skid as they've kind of fallen back into number 5 right now in the EPAC at 2-4 overall. So this is a game that if they can get this one under in the win column tonight, they can get to 3-4. That puts them just a half game behind fourth place and only a game back of third. So they can keep themselves in that middle of the pack, try to get themselves up that ranking, be close. Again, they'd only be only a half a game behind Martinsburg if they were to win tonight. So that difference between second place and fifth place can really close up tonight if the Cougars can get the win here at home, and Martinsburg can really extend it out in that second place spot, try to solidify themselves as the number 2 team in the EPAC with the win for them.
Yeah, the game a lot more important when it comes to standings and resume building for Jefferson tonight, just when you look at how the sections line up in Spring Mills, Martinsburg, and Hedgesville on one side of the region in Section 1, and then Section 2 being Washington, Musselman, and Jefferson, which right now wide open, especially after Musselman was able to defeat Jefferson yesterday. But if Jefferson later on the season could get a win and split with them, maybe even split with Washington, who did beat them the first time around too, and get a win tonight against Martinsburg to split that, just build that resume, because most likely in Section 1 it's already set. It's Spring Mills at number 1, then Martinsburg at number 2, then Hedgesville at number 3, but because of the voting is how they figure out the seedings in the region from the coaches, Washington, Musselman, Jefferson, it could go any way imaginable right now at this point in the season.
Right, it comes down to bragging rights too. Even if it's a team that's not in your section, getting ahead of them in the overall standings for how the EPAC shakes out altogether, it can make a difference in the eyes of some voters. It can just be that kind of eye test. You see a team in 4th instead of 5th, or whatever it might be. It helps out your case a little bit, and so it's an important game for both teams. So, in that sense, of course, Martinsburg wants to keep momentum going for the season as they try to go into the playoffs, be able to take on a team like Spring Mills, who right now is on a roll, clearly number 1 team in the Panhandle as it stands,
and a team that Martinsburg will be playing Thursday.
Exactly. So this is a good game for them. Try to get set. And they don't want this to turn into a trap game and look forward to that game against Spring Mills. So that can be a situation where the Cougars can sneak up on them tonight, perhaps pull off a win.
It's going to be tough, though, for Jefferson, as we were informed when we came here today from Coach Damon Smith, the head coach of Jefferson, and you'll hear a little bit about it later on in the interview with him. It's been a tough season so far for a team that made the state tournament last year, had 3 of its key players graduate, and now a starter typically for Jefferson out tonight after she was injured yesterday, that being Grace Dodson, who was injured. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, Coach Smith said. Obviously nothing official yet as it happened yesterday, but somebody this late into the season that you don't want to be missing. But people that will be missing due to them being off the team did not get a reason why, but they are officially off the team, are 3 seniors in Talea Lindsay, Sierra Holmes, and Jordan Rollins. So you'll hear from it later from Coach Smith, but it's been really tough for the chemistry to be built, because with 3 seniors gone, you're really having to rely on the youth of this team and try to build that chemistry, but it's currently lacking.
Right. No matter how many minutes on the court a senior gets, it makes a big difference to a team, because they bring a locker room presence. They bring someone that, even if they're not a starter, you can bring them off the bench, you would hope, with some more experience. They can rely on them more than you would be able to most freshmen. So even if you say, this player's not on the team anymore, but they didn't contribute a lot of points or rebounds or assists or even minutes, it can make a big difference. Like you said, team chemistry, it can be that locker room presence. It can be a leader that some other younger players looked up to. You never know with that kind of thing unless you are in the thick of things with the team. So, I mean, that's 3 seniors off the team. It makes a big difference no matter what. So it's definitely tough sledding for Jefferson, coming off of a loss to Musselman as well, a team that had struggled especially in the early part of the season. You have to see if the Cougars can get things together with this new setup they have, this new core of their team, and continue for the rest of the season.
We're still waiting on the varsity warm-ups to get in action, so this game will be delayed as it was originally scheduled for a 7:30 tip, but currently on the floor still going on as we speak is the JV game between Martinsburg and Jefferson, and it's a very contested game right now. 14.2 seconds remain in regulation, and it's a 34-33 lead for Martinsburg as Jefferson just fouled as they had one to give. So unless that was the 7th, they just put it up as the 7th. So currently shooting free throws for Martinsburg to try to extend its 1-point lead. And after this junior varsity game ends, we will have 20 minutes of warm-ups until the varsity game between Martinsburg and Jefferson. And as I said earlier, the last time these two teams played, it was a 42-37 win for the Lady Bulldogs, and that ended a 4-game win streak in this rivalry for Jefferson, who right now is trying its best to get together and knock off a Martinsburg team that realistically could potentially see this Jefferson team down the road again in a regional championship game where it's Charleston on the line, Dylan.
It could be. I mean, yeah, this is going to be big for a lot of reasons. That's exactly one of them. Like you said, Jefferson needs to get a new flow going with this rotation that they have now, with their injuries and other things kind of affecting what their roster is now, who they can go to off the bench, who they can put in the starting lineup. Grace Dodson, one of their starters, out injured tonight. I believe you said it was last night that she was gone down with a knee injury. Obviously, we don't know the severity of it, but hopefully that's something for Jefferson that she can come back pretty soon and be able to get back in action and bring a little more stability to that Jefferson lineup, especially, missing these other players that they had earlier in the season.
Jefferson, however, not the only team that's trying to bounce back after a loss. Martinsburg's also trying to do so, as over the weekend they lost a close game to Fairmont Senior, a AA team that has had a pretty solid season so far, and not only was it a loss, it was at the buzzer, so in heartbreaking fashion for Martinsburg, a team that last year only had one win and now are under a first-year head coach in Ronnie Fitzpatrick, who came over from being an assistant coach at Musselman High School last year and trying to lead this team to a regional championship and even potentially a state tournament bid. So let's now step aside and take our first 2-minute break here on the Sunset Water Countdown to Tip-Off. And when we come back, we'll hear from both teams' head coaches. You're tuned in to West Virginia High School girls basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. We're back in 2 minutes.
Mountaineer Grill and Pub offers many daily specials, including Trivia Night Monday, Karaoke Tuesday, Steak Night Wednesday and Sunday, Thursday night Boneless Wing Night, and on Friday and Saturday nights there'll be a DJ and or karaoke. And remember, Monday through Friday, happy hour, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., $2 domestic bottles and $2.50 domestic drafts.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Thinking about making that big move but don't know where to start? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group. Chris is a Martinsburg High School graduate and knows the local market, and he's proven it for the past 15 years at Milestone Real Estate Group. Looking to sell or buy a home? Phone 304-579-7349. That's 304-579-7349. Or go to callchrisross.com. Making milestones is our business.
Insurance companies like to play games. They say they're on your side, but they aren't. We have a team that can handle any curveball they throw. At Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, you get a dedicated lawyer, and every case gets a team effort. So you get nearly 150 combined years of experience going to bat for you. And we like to win. Join the team that takes your personal injury case seriously. Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson. We play hardball.
Welcome back to Jefferson High School for tonight's West Virginia High School girls basketball, featuring Martinsburg and Jefferson, as the junior varsity game just concluded. A close one that Jefferson tried to tie up at the buzzer but was unable to do so. So the Martinsburg Lady Bulldogs JV team got a 36-33 victory over Jefferson, as now both varsity teams will take the floor to start warm-ups as we continue this Sunset Water countdown to tip-off on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10. I'm Colin McLaughlin. Alongside me is Dylan Bishop, our cameraman, our Nick Verzolini and Gerald Wright, and back at the studio, it's Spencer Dupuis. Let's now get into our coaches' interviews, brought to you by Rock's Local Markets, with convenient locations around the Eastern Panhandle. Rock's is fast, fresh, and friendly. We'll start off with the head coach of the Martinsburg Lady Bulldogs, Ronnie Fitzpatrick, followed by Jefferson's head coach, Damon Smith. Now joined by the head coach of the Martinsburg Lady Bulldogs, Ronnie Fitzpatrick. Coach Fitzpatrick, your team now 5-8 after a heartbreaking loss over the weekend to Fairmont Senior, but even in a close game at the buzzer like that was something that your team learned and took away from.
Well, hopefully they learned how to handle a little bit more adversity. A well-fought game, well-coached team, Fairmont Senior, and we just gave it up at the end. The young lady that hit the shot, she had a really good game, and we knew that she was left-hand dominant, and she went to her left and hit a three. So we got to learn how to handle those things and handle personnel. But we're learning.
Your team back in conference play tonight. It's a regional matchup against Jefferson, a team that you beat January 3rd, 42-37. What's your team need to do this time around to get another win and get the season sweep?
It's going to be a tough one, and you can throw that first game out of the window. But it's going to be execution on defense. We've worked hard on our rotations. We've worked hard on help side defense and understanding personnel. So hopefully we can execute today, and that'll be the key for us to win.
You've really rebuilt this team after last year, taken over this year. With that being said, what are the goals for the remainder of the season for your team?
Well, the goals are always, of course, to win the section and win the region and get a trip to states and try to win a state title. But for us, it's still continued growth day in and day out. I think I told you last time we interviewed that we're trying to win every day. You know, yesterday we had a really good practice and we won that day. Today we were trying to win these games, but at the same time improve on some of the things that we didn't do well on Saturday, Friday, and Thursday. So we've got these same goals as everybody else, but it's about winning each day and continuing to develop, and hopefully that'll put us where we want to be.
What are you most excited about for tonight's test against Jefferson?
Just another opportunity. So Fairmont, we actually lost to them the first time, so we lost to them twice. But it's our next chance to see where we are, see if we can improve on what happened in the first games. Whether it was a win or a loss, there were still things and opportunities that we can improve on. So we went over a lot all week, and let's just see what we do. I'm excited.
All right, Coach Fitzpatrick, anything else?
No, thanks for having me, and thanks for supporting the girls.
All right, thank you, and good luck. Now joined by the head coach of the Jefferson Lady Cougars, Damon Smith. Coach Smith, your team getting to play back-to-back days. It was a tough loss yesterday to a proving Musselman team, but what were some things that you were able to take away from that game?
Getting some players that usually don't play that much, getting them some quality minutes. We're going to need them with injuries and stuff like that. We're going to need them in the long run, so getting them girls quality minutes in tough situations, and not just the end of the game situations. So I'm getting them into tough situations and getting them quality minutes like that.
Tonight you take on Martinsburg, a team that last time around you guys lost to. What does your team need to do differently this time around to get the win?
We got to work together as a team. We figured by this time we would came together, but we're still trying to find ourselves. So we got to find our way, and hopefully tonight we can work together and be ready to play this game tonight.
What's the reasoning behind that in your mind as to maybe why your team's just not fully together yet?
Having girls play that really probably wouldn't play as many minutes. I keep bringing it up is like when you lose players, then you have to then the other girls have to step up, and I think that's what it is having other girls having to step up, and they just haven't found their way yet.
What's your team need to do tonight to get the win on the floor?
Play with some intensity. And I think if we can play with some intensity throughout the whole game, I think we could be all right.
All right, anything else, Coach Smith?
No, I think that's it.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That was our coaches' interviews, again brought to you by Rock's Local Markets. 14 and a half minutes remain until tip-off between Martinsburg and Jefferson in West Virginia High School girls basketball action. So let's take another 2-minute commercial break. You're tuned into West Virginia High School girls basketball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is Prevent, Promote, Protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
Hello, this is Mark Sutton of the Sutton & Janelle Law Firm. The right attorney can make all the difference in your case. That's why you should call Sutton & Janelle. We have been serving clients in West Virginia and Maryland since 1999 in the areas of family law, DUI, criminal defense, and personal injury. Sutton & Janelle works hard to obtain a favorable outcome for you at a reasonable rate with affordable payment options. Sutton & Janelle values your rights and is passionate about your success. Contact us today at suttonandjanelle.com.
Find that new Chevy truck or SUV you've been searching for right here at CMA Chevrolet of Martinsburg. With over 100 new Chevys in stock, you have options. We have the Silverados, Equinoxes, and more to meet your needs. And we are not selling over MSRP. Get power and fuel efficiency with the all-new Silverado 1500 LTD, space and savings on a new Equinox. And that's not all. Every new Chevrolet has a lifetime powertrain warranty. And did we mention we are not selling over MSRP? Find new roads at CMAChevroletofMartinsburg.com, where owners just care more.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for Dollar Wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the Cornhole Tourney, Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
Welcome back to the Cougar Cage inside of Jefferson High School. I'm Colin McLaughlin. Alongside me is Dylan Bishop. Apologize for a little bit of a technical issue that's currently going on. We're doing our best to get that back up and fully back to our full strength before the tip-off between Martinsburg and Jefferson girls basketball, as Martinsburg 5-8 overall, 3-2 in the EPAC, and Jefferson 5-9 overall, 2-4 in the EPAC. As we mentioned earlier in the Sunset Water countdown to tip-off, these two teams played against each other at Martinsburg January 3rd, and it was a 42-37 win for Martinsburg. It was the first one of the season for the Martinsburg Bulldogs at that time, and now they've put together 4 more to total up that 5 wins at 5-8 overall. They now get to go up against Jefferson tonight, who are 5-9 overall, but 3 of those 5 wins are here at home. They're 3-2 overall at home, 2-7 on the road. So when it comes to playing inside the Cougar Cage, Jefferson typically fares better against its opponents. And Dylan, with that being said, let's get into our keys to the game. The key to your next car is at the Heffley Motor Company, located at 993 Hedgesville Road in Martinsburg. You're local, we're local, so why not buy local? Spencer rides with them, so you should too. Dylan, what's your keys to the game? And let's start off with the visiting Martinsburg Bulldogs.
Well, for Martinsburg, I'm going to say that I think the things that they need to really focus on tonight are ball movement on the offensive end. Make sure you can get some shots around to your players all around the court. You don't want the defense to be able to key in on just Kayla Fitzpatrick. And then play that pressure defense that has gotten you a lot of steals so far this year. 3 steals a game for Tiana Santabria and Kayla Fitzpatrick each, and 2 a game for Anaya Gideon. And I think that's something they can continue against Jefferson tonight. For the Cougars, they need to protect the ball. The other side of that, if you let Martinsburg get a lot of turnovers against you, they can get out in transition and turn that into points. And they got to be able to crash the boards tonight. Do not give Martinsburg second chance opportunities and let the likes of Cadence Bradley get those offensive rebounds down low, get some easy points.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting to see the senior Olivia Hedrick, who's set at 6'4", going up against the 6'5" junior in Cadence Bradley tonight. That has always been a fun matchup over the past 2 seasons to see when these 2 teams do battle, as we have 9 minutes left until tip-off between Jefferson and Martinsburg. Only one other game in action tonight with a team in the Eastern Panhandle on the girls basketball side of things, and it's the undefeated Spring Mills Cardinals, who again this week are going up against Mercersburg Academy, who sit at 9-9 overall, so still a tough team to go up against, but this time they're at home, and last week when they played got a big win against Mercersburg, trying to improve to 13-0 overall, a team that right now is 5th in the entire state according to the AP poll again this week, and the only ranked team in the Eastern Panhandle.
Yeah, they have been really impressive so far this entire year. It's really none of the other teams in the EPAC have been able to compete with them so far. Again, obviously mentioned earlier that they are 6-0 undefeated in the region so far. So they're going to try to continue their dominance. They're going outside of the Panhandle for some of these games, and they're going to be tough to contend with as the season goes on in the sectionals and regionals. And theoretically, you think when they get to the state tournament, I think they're going to be a lot to handle as well.
Yep, we get to see the Spring Mills Lady Cardinals in action. It will be Thursday of this week as they visit the Martinsburg Lady Bulldogs. It will be a 7:30-ish tip-off. Obviously, you never know with JV games what time exactly varsity will start. Speaking of which, right now, still 7:15 to go until tip-off between these two. But 7:30 is the scheduled tip, so we'll go on around 7 p.m. for that one, and it will be Spencer Dupuis on the call for that girls basketball game between Martinsburg and Spring Mills, and joining him for the color commentary back after not being back since volleyball season, it will be the coach, Jim Klein, on the call with Spencer Dupuis. So if you are tuning in and you miss the voice of Jim Klein and how much fun he likes to have with us, tune in on Thursday night. And I know Jim's definitely tuning in right now and is excited for this game as well as for the game on Thursday. But let's now take another 2-minute break, and on the other side of that 2-minute break, we'll get you the players to look out for as well as the starting 5 for both Jefferson and Martinsburg. You're tuned into West Virginia High School girls basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Providing reliable protection since 1877, we are Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies. From small beginnings and over a century later, we maintain our dedication to our policyholders to provide dependable insurance protection and excellent customer service. Protecting everything from your home to your business has never been easier. Our team is here to ensure that you, your family, and your assets are taken care of. We enjoy giving back and doing our part to keep Martinsburg a great place to be.
Rock's Grab and Go is made fresh daily. Grab and Go, now available at Rock's local market. Rock's Grab and Go is made fresh daily. Grab and Go, now available at Rock's local market.
We're all familiar with the phrase, size matters, and sometimes it does. Sometimes you want a bigger home, a car, a bigger chainsaw or boat, and yes, a bigger diamond. And sometimes it's not about size, S-I-Z-E, at all. It's about size, S-I-G-H-S. Hi, I'm Lori from Bechtel Jewelers. Yes, those size matter. That's what your holiday gift is about. Not how big the box is or how big the gift is. Instead, do you hear those precious sighs when she opens it? That sweet sound? That says, I love it, or I can't believe you got this for me, or how did you know, or this is way too much. All of which means it's perfect. I'm Lori from Bechtel Jewelers, Route 11 South in Inwood. For that gift, come to Bechtel Jewelers. From diamonds to silver, rubies to emeralds, pendants to hoop earrings. Why a gift from our store? Really, it's simple, because does matter.
Welcome back to Jefferson High School for tonight's West Virginia High School girls basketball action between the Martinsburg Bulldogs and the Jefferson Cougars. I'm Colin McLaughlin for Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Alongside me is Dylan Bishop. Our cameraman on the TV 10 side are Gerald Wright and Nick Verzolini. Back at the studio is Spencer Dupuis. As we continue our Sunset Water countdown to tip-off, as we have just a little bit over 3 minutes to go until tip-off between Jefferson and Martinsburg. Let's now get into our players to look out for, which is brought to you by Sutton and Janelle, attorney at law, a full-service law firm helping individuals, families, and businesses with all of their legal needs. They're at 224 West King Street in Martinsburg. You can visit them online at suttonandjanelle.com. Dylan, who are your players to look out for both teams tonight?
Well, even before you mentioned it in the last segment, Colin, you kind of beat me to it. In that, I think the players to watch tonight are the big players down low, 6'4" and 6'5", Olivia Hedrick for Jefferson and Cadence Bradley for Martinsburg. That's a huge difference that tall players like that, just that are so much taller than many of the other players on the court, 6'4", 6'5", can make a difference in a ball game when it comes to rebounding or just hitting the ball down low to them and getting points in the paint from them. Cadence Bradley especially can be gone to as a reliable player in the post for scoring if you get a mismatch down low. So that's who I'm looking out for in this one. It's the two centers for the Cougars and the Bulldogs, Olivia Hedrick and Cadence Bradley.
I agree. Both of those players almost average double-doubles. For Martinsburg's Cadence Bradley, 9 points per game and 7 rebounds per game. And then for Jefferson's Olivia Hedrick, she averages 10 points per game and 8 rebounds per game. So those two will be dangerous down low. Look for them to be matched up whenever they're both on the court at the same time throughout this evening's contest between Martinsburg and Jefferson, two teams that are trying to continue to fight and get into that second spot in the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference, which Martinsburg currently holds, and Jefferson sits at 5th out of the 6 teams. As the warm-ups are starting to conclude, let's now get into tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. You can stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg or call 304-263-4343. Let's start with the starters for the Martinsburg Bulldogs, who enter tonight 5-8 overall, 3-2 in the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference, are coached by first-year head coach Ronnie Fitzpatrick. Starting for your Martinsburg Lady Bulldogs, number 3, Anaya Gideon. Number 15, Kayla Fitzpatrick. Number 21, Tiana Sanabria. Number 33, Addison Strovel. And number 34, Cadence Bradley. Those are your starting 5 for the Martinsburg Lady Bulldogs tonight. Let's now switch over to the Jefferson Cougars, who enter tonight's game 5-9 overall, 2-4 in the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference. Starting tonight for the Jefferson Lady Cougars, number 3, Maya Powell-Utley. Number 11, Jasmine Taylor. Number 21, Dalen Hoyer. Number 33, Mackenzie Brezovic. And number 45, Olivia Hedrick. That's your starting 5 for both Martinsburg and Jefferson. Let's now take a 3-minute break, and then we'll be back for the opening tip-off between Martinsburg and Jefferson. You're tuned into West Virginia High School girls basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. We're back in 3 minutes.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Insurance companies like to play games. They say they're on your side, but they aren't. We have a team that can handle any curveball they throw. At Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, you get a dedicated lawyer, and every case gets a team effort. So you get nearly 150 combined years of experience going to bat for you. And we like to win. Join the team that takes your personal injury case seriously. Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson. We play hardball.
On the Sports Mix, you'll hear interviews with prestigious guests.
Since you had that reunion, do you have a favorite memory from that season or maybe a funny story you'd like to share with our audience?
John Madden, the late great John Madden, came out to our practice on like Thursday. He turned to those guys and he said, this game ain't going to be close. These guys are going to kill Buffalo.
Tune into the Sports Mix, weekdays from 12 to 1 on Talk Radio WRNR, FM 106.5, AM 740, TV 10, and streaming live on the TV 10 Facebook page.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Catch the excitement of high school basketball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10, featuring the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference.
Barkley's got the steal all by himself. He'll go up for the two-handed slam dunk.
All 6 EPAC schools, regular season and postseason, live here.
Now over to Clark from 3, and that's through. LeClay Clark nails it.
To start the fourth quarter for Musselman. Slick now driving the right side, and it is rejected by foul.
Your home for local sports is right here on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
To Jefferson High School as we are underway. The opening tip goes to Jefferson, which is brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to HagerstownFord.com. First shot of the game was brought to you by the Berkeley County Health Department. Prevent, Promote, Protect. They're at 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg, as the shot was no good by Mackenzie Brezovic for 3. It went out of bounds. It's Jefferson ball. Taylor with it now, giving it to Brezovic at their wing. She gives it back to Taylor in the corner and now goes down low to Hedrick. She powers her way against Cadence Bradley, goes into the paint, puts it up and in. Jefferson starts off with a 2-0 lead on Martinsburg at 7.5 to go in the first.
Well, there you go. That was our matchup to watch for the night, and they go to it immediately. That's our first points.
Martinsburg's Gideon drives the right side, now dribbles her way back out of it. Passes it to Santa Maria, gets it to Bradley. Bradley then gives it to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick pump fakes, goes into the left side. Her shot no good. Rebounded down low by Strovel. And Strovel's fouled with 7:14 to go in this first quarter. That is the first team foul against the Jefferson Cougars. And it is against Jefferson's. Waiting to see on the scoreboard who it is, but they won't put it in, as a shot quickly off the inbound goes up and in by Cadence Bradley. We're tied up at 2 apiece. As the ball quickly back the other way for Jefferson will go out of bounds, and it's a turnover, Martinsburg ball. Were you able to try to make out who that foul was against, Dylan?
It was down low. It was hard to tell. It might have been against Hedrick. That was obviously
I thought
right
I saw
down
a
low.
5, and she's the only one on the floor with a 5, so. Bradley with it now. Gets it to Santa Maria, swings it to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick then finds Schrovel back to Bradley in the left side. She finds Santa Maria trying to quickly go in the back door, and it goes through Santa Maria's hands and out of bounds. A turnover gives the ball to Jefferson with 6:44 to go in this first quarter, tied up at 2 apiece.
Well, Bradley had the right idea with that pass, but probably could have used a bounce pass or coming in at 6'5". She makes that pass too high for her cutting teammate.
Taylor finds Brezovic. She was open, decided not to take the three, instead drove in, and now at the ball with Powell Utley. Powell Utley gets it to Brezovic. Brezovic, right corner three, no good off the side of the rim. She's able to get her own rebound after the long bounce, and now we'll reset the offense. She finds Hedrick. Hedrick at the right elbow is double-teamed. We have a reach-in foul called with 6:14 to go in this first quarter, and it's against Santa Maria of Martinsburg. That's her first, team first.
Yeah, they got almost got in there for a jump ball, but made a little bit of contact with the arm at first before they got there to the ball.
Ball inbounded to Hedrick. Hedrick turns around, tries to pull up, and the shot airballed, rebounded by Fitzpatrick. Back the other way goes Martinsburg. It's Bradley finding Strovel down low. Strovel gets double-teamed and dribbles it off her leg, but they say it last went out off Jefferson, so it'll remain Martinsburg ball.
Seeing a lot of offense played through the center so far. I think whichever one plays better defense will be the key tonight.
Strovel wide open off the inbound. She puts it up and in and is fouled. Martinsburg now leads 4-2. 5:59 to go in the first. Is that foul against Jefferson, the second team foul.
Strovel got left wide open on the inbound, and then they came in, over-adjusted, got the foul.
Free throw, no good, rebounded by Hedrick. Score remains 4-2. That foul was against Hoyler. Jasmine Taylor with the ball, now passes it over to Hoyler. Hoyler back to Taylor, gives it to Brezovic at the left wing. Brezovic resets it with Taylor at the top of the key. It's now Powell Utley, right corner two-pointer, way off the mark as she put a little bit too much air under that one. It hit the wire, which is out of bounds. It's a turnover to give the ball to Martinsburg. 5:35 to go in this first quarter. It's Martinsburg 4, Jefferson 2. Santa Maria leads the offense now and gives it to Fitzpatrick. Gives it right back to Santa Maria. Back and forth they go with chest passes. Still going back and forth. Now gets it to Bradley for three at the top of the key off the side of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Jefferson. It's Brezovic with the ball, bringing it up the floor, allowing the rest of her teammates to get up the floor first. She now breaks midcourt, calls out the play with her right hand, picking up her dribble, and then passing it over to the left side for Taylor. Taylor gets double-teamed, able to pass the way out of it to Powell Utley. Powell Utley now loses it, gives it to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick back the other way for Martinsburg. Left-handed layup is good for Fitzpatrick. Martinsburg now takes a 6-2 lead with 4:45 to go in this first quarter.
That's why turnovers can be big in this game.
High pass from Brezovic over the head of Hoyler, goes out of bounds off her hands. It's another Jefferson turnover, Martinsburg ball.
That's another one there. Kayla Fitzpatrick's very athletic and get out in transition and make layups like that all game long if you let her steal the ball from you.
Cadence Bradley has the ball at the top of the key. It's Martinsburg. 4 players beyond that key. Now trying to crash in. It's Gideon, left side. Ball gets tipped out of her hand, goes into the hand of Jefferson's Hoyler, and she's fouled underneath a defensive basket. Or did they say it was a held ball? They did say it was a held ball, not a foul. Possession error gives the ball back to Martinsburg with 4:22 to go in this first quarter. Ball inbounded, wide open is Fitzpatrick, right corner three. No good off the iron, rebounded by Brezovic. Brezovic quickly back the other way for Jefferson. It's a 3v4. She drives in, able to put up a floater, banks in for Mackenzie Brezovic. It's now 6-4 Martinsburg over Jefferson.
Looked like it was with the left hand, too. Nice.
And all 4 Bulldog defenders that were down there, all on Brezovic. She was still able to put that one up. It's Bradley with the ball. Reach in, no call. She gets it to Strovel, who finds Santa Maria, right corner three, airballed, rebounded by Strovel in the paint, and Strovel able to sink that one. It's now 8-4 Martinsburg.
It's looked like some zone defense from both teams. On their side, it looked like Jefferson had a 1-3-1 going. Now there's kind of a three-quarter, half-court trap.
Taylor rejected by Strovo not once but twice. Martinsburg ball. Fitzpatrick, left side, dribbles behind her, now passes it to Gideon. Gideon with the ball at the top of the key, finds Bradley overhead, passes it to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick pump fakes, drives in the left side, kicks it out to Bradley. Left elbow shot, no good. Rebounded by Martinsburg, and a foul with 3:13 to go in the first quarter. It's 8-4 Bulldogs over the Cougars. First quarter is presented on TV 10 by Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, family-owned full-service funeral home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson, proudly serving the area since 1880. We'll get the next sponsor after the next dead ball as Bradley goes with her right hand. J-hook is in by Cadence Bradley. Now makes it 10-4 Martinsburg.
And Martinsburg bringing the pressure once again.
Taylor finds Brezovic. Brezovic then passes it over to Hoyler. Hoyler gives it to Hedrick down low. Hedrick double team, puts up a shot, no good. Rebounded by Martinsburg's Strovel. 2:45 remains in this first quarter. It's Martinsburg 10, Jefferson 4. Santabria with the ball, finding Fitzpatrick at the right wing. She then passes it to Gideon. Gideon gets it down low to Bradley. Bradley tries to post up, instead kicks it out to a wide-open Strovel, but she's immediately governed by Powell Utley. Bradley back with it now, posting up again against Hedrick. Her shot too hard off the glass, no good, rebounded by Brezovic. Long pass to Taylor, right side layup, no good, gets her own rebound, and now has to dribble out of the paint as 4 Bulldogs surrounded her. She gets bumps, and no call. They say she stepped out of bounds first. It's a turnover, Martinsburg ball. The other first quarter sponsor for TV 10 is CMA's Honda of Winchester at 3985 Valley Pike. CMA moving lives forward. Checking in for Martinsburg, number 10, Brooklyn Medina, as well as number 32, Baker.
Yeah, trying to give Bradley some rest. She's going to be a big part of this game. Jefferson settled into a 2-3 zone so far with this look that they have. It's been tough to get some good looks.
Baker bounce passes it, finds Fitzpatrick in the paint wide open, and she kisses it off the glass.
As
Fitzpatrick, Strovel, and Bradley have 4 points each. It's a 12-4 lead for Martinsburg over Jefferson. Jefferson takes a 30-second timeout. We'll take it with them. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Girls Basketball on Talk Radio WRNR TV 10.
Ever try to collect on an insurance claim? Perhaps a homeowner's claim, auto accident, or fire? Insurance companies collect money from you for protection should something bad happen. And when it does, they don't want to pay, or they offer too little. At Mansion Ferretti, we have an attorney who worked defending insurance companies and knows all the dirty tricks they play to deny or lowball your claim. Call us today for help in getting what you really deserve. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
Welcome back to Jefferson High School after Cougars call a timeout. Back onto the floor, it's Jefferson ball, trailing Martinsburg 12-4 with 1:56 to go in this first quarter of West Virginia High School girls basketball action. Mackenzie Brezovic with the ball for Jefferson, the all-white uniforms. He passes it to the elbow to Hedrick, who gets it back to Brezovic. Brezovic finds Hoyler at the left side, and she passes it to Powell Utley, who gives it to Brezovic. Brezovic tries to power her way into the paint on the right side. Layup no good, but she was fouled, and it looks like it's against Martinsburg's Brooklyn Medina to her dismay. That's the second team foul against Martinsburg and will send Mackenzie Brezovic to the line to shoot 2.
Well, I had said before the break that it was hard for Martinsburg to find some looks against the 2-3 zone defense. And it looks like the Bulldogs are doing the same thing on the other end, and it's been even tougher for the Cougars.
First free throw for Brezovic off the front of the rim and then rolls in, makes it now Martinsburg 12, Jefferson 5. As Brezovic gets the ball back for her second free throw. She has 3 of the 5 points tonight for Jefferson. As she sinks the second free throw, she now has 4 points and makes it 12-6. Martinsburg still leading Jefferson. Santabria with the ball now for Martinsburg. Dribbling with her right hand, hands it to to Medina. Medina then gets it to Fitzpatrick, who drives in to the left side, kicks it out for Strovel, who gets it to Baker. Baker then passes it to the left side for Fitzpatrick. She'll dribble in, pull up a 15-foot jumper. No good, rebounded by Jefferson. It's Brezovic slowly bringing it up the court for the Lady Cougars. 1 minute remains in this first quarter. She floats a pass to Shanley. Shanley finds Hedrick. Hedrick banks it in from the right block. Olivia Hedrick now has 4 points, and it's a 12-8 lead for Martinsburg, only leading by 4 now against Jefferson.
Martinsburg took out Cadence Bradley, and Jefferson left in Hedrick. This could be her time to get some more points down low, run the offense through her, get back in this game.
Medina fires a pass to Santa Maria, back to Medina. Medina then passes it to the right corner for Strovel. Strovel finds Baker. Baker trying to post up at the right block, and it's rejected by Hedrick. Goes into the hands of Strovel. 25 seconds to go in this first quarter. Strovel finds Hedrick wide open. Right side, it's good. 2-point game now as Hedrick has had back-to-back shots and back-to-back possessions. 12-2, Martinsburg leads Jefferson.
Cadence
10
Bradley
seconds
immediately
to
to
go.
the bench. Yep, to the scorer's table.
Santa Maria to Fitzpatrick. 5 seconds. Santa Maria at the top of the key, dribbling in. Doesn't see how much time's left. Passes it to Strovel. No shot's going to get off at the buzzer as Martinsburg didn't realize how much time was left. That's the end of the first. Martinsburg still leads Jefferson 12-10. Let's take a 1-minute break. You're tuned into West Virginia High School girls basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is Prevent, Promote, Protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
Find that new Chevy truck or SUV you've been searching for right here at CMA Chevrolet of Martinsburg. With over 100 new Chevys in stock, you have options. We have the Silverados, Equinoxes, and more to meet your needs. And we are not selling over MSRP. Get power and fuel efficiency with the all-new Silverado 1500 LTD, space and savings on a new Equinox. And that's not all. Every new Chevrolet has a lifetime powertrain warranty. And did we mention we are not selling over MSRP? Find new roads at CMAChevroletofMartinsburg.com, where owners just care more.
Cage as we enter the second quarter. Martinsburg Lady Bulldogs lead the Jefferson Lady Cougars 12-10. I'm Colin McLaughlin. Alongside me is Dylan Bishop for Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 as you're tuned in to WRNR Martinsburg 106.5 FM 740 AM or TV 10 or our YouTube page WRNR TV. It's Martinsburg ball to start the second quarter. It's Brooklyn Medina now leading the point for the Lady Bulldogs. Dribbling with her right hand, then crosses over, picks up her dribble, finds Bradley. Bradley then passes it to the left side for Nelson, and Nelson banks it in. It's now 14-10. Martinsburg leading Jefferson.
Nelson brings a lot of energy off the bench, and Brooklyn Medina's been a good sixth man for them as well. Another guard that can handle the ball, get some points.
Hedrick gets it right back. Into the paint goes Hedrick. She now has 8 points after she drains that shot. Right underneath the basket. It's 14-12.
Yeah, Brezovic and Hedrick are going to have to carry the load for the Cougars tonight.
Medina to Nelson. Nelson walks. She shuffled her feet, was not able to keep that pivot foot down to turn over Jefferson ball with 7:20 to go in the second quarter. Your second quarter brought to you by your Orsini's Home Store, not just an appliance store any longer. Visit them at 360 Half Wilson Way in Martinsburg or go to Orsini's.com, as well as the Skinner Law Firm, injury and consumer rights lawyers, phone 304-245-6613. Go to SkinnerFirm.com. Brezovic's pass tipped and stolen now. Back the other way goes Kayla Fitzpatrick, 2v1 from Martinsburg. Fitzpatrick tries to get it to Nelson. It was low, deflected originally by Shanley. Then Nelson was able to recover it. A jump ball was tied up right after that. Possession arrow gives it to Jefferson, who trails Martinsburg by 2. Could take the lead with a 3 this possession or tie it up with a 2-point shot.
There comes Martinsburg going to a full court press now.
Jefferson tries to break it. Taylor loses her dribble, picks it up, finds Brezovic. Brezovic kicks it out to Shanley for 3. Off the front of the rim, no good. Rebounded down low by Strovel for Martinsburg. Strovel almost has the ball ripped out of her hands by Brezovic, but she's able to pass it to Medina. Medina now with the ball for Martinsburg at midcourt. Passes it to the left side to Fitzpatrick, who gives it to Bradley. Medina, long three-pointer off the front rim, rolls around, and then out. No good. That one, for half a second, looked like it was going to find its way, but instead it's Jefferson ball. Brezovic pulls up for three, trying to give Jefferson the lead. That one off the mark. No good. Rebounded by Strovel. Wide open Medina quickly back the other way. Right side layup is good by Brooklyn Medina. That's her first 2 points. Extends Martinsburg's lead now to 16-12.
Bulldogs have some depth on this bench, and that's pretty much the opposite of what the Cougars have now with losing some of their team.
Taylor drives to the left side. Shot no good. Rebounded by Hedrick, and Hedrick tries to quickly pull up for a shot, and that one gets tipped out of bounds by Cadence Bradley with 5:46 to go in this second quarter. It's Jefferson ball. Now we're going to inbound it, the left side of the basket for Jefferson. Fitzpatrick will guard the baseline. Brezovic tries to throw the ball in. Finds Taylor in the right corner, passes it behind her to Shanley, back to Taylor, back to Shanley. Shanley then gets it down low for Hedrick. Hedrick rejected by Bradley. Ball almost goes out of bounds, saved by Strovel, who then passes it to Fitzpatrick. It's Fitzpatrick with the ball for Martinsburg. At midcourt, now passes it to the left wing for Gideon. Gideon back to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick gets a pick, goes to the left side, gets it to Gideon, back to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick pump fake, sees the space in the open paint, goes in on the left side, her layup, no good, rebounded by Martinsburg. It was Gideon with it. She gets the ball ripped out of her hands by Brezovic, goes to the ground, and they say possession arrow on the held ball goes to Martinsburg. 5:13 to go in this second quarter. Bulldog ball.
Good defense. Ms. Fitzpatrick was trying to manipulate the zone.
Bradley with an awkward shot. It still goes through for Cadence Bradley. She now has 6 points. They lead by 6 now, Martinsburg does, at 18-12. 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Shanley for three, left side. It's good. First three-pointer of the evening. Makes it a 3-point game.
That's why these teams have been playing zone. You got to shoot a team out of zone defense.
Bradley for three, top of the key. No good around the rim. Rebounded by Fitzpatrick, but it's yanked from behind by Brezovic. Back the other way she goes. Euro step, tried to go up for a layup, but lost the ball. Went out last off a deflected hand of Martinsburg. So it's still Jefferson ball, 4:36 to go in this second quarter. It's Martinsburg 18, Jefferson 15.
I think there's an interesting chess match to watch between these two coaches, Coach Smith and Coach Fitzpatrick, when they take out their centers. Do they give their own center a rest as well? Because we saw in that first quarter, Cadence Bradley came out, Hedrick came in and immediately got 2 baskets in a row.
Both on the floor right now. Hedrick with the ball. Right side elbow shot, no good. Rebounded by Fitzpatrick from Martinsburg. She'll dribble it up the floor by herself. Now picks up the pace, goes to the left side, back behind the arc after driving into the paint. It's Fitzpatrick. She now passes it to Bradley, who hands it back to Fitzpatrick. 4:15 to go in the second quarter. It's Bradley with the ball at the top of the key. Flashing down low for is Gideon, trying to drive the left baseline. The pass into Gideon's hands, who then loses it. It goes out of bounds, Jefferson ball.
It was a good cut by Gideon. She just couldn't hold on to the ball. If she did, she would have had a chance at a layup right there at the basket.
Still a 3-point lead for Martinsburg. Jefferson with the ball. It's Taylor into the paint. Her shot, airballed, might have been deflected by Bradley. They say it still went out of bounds off Jefferson, so it's Martinsburg ball now after that possession. Santabria with it for Martinsburg after the inbound by Fitzpatrick. She's at midcourt as Santabria. Immediately picks up her dribble, finds Gideon. She drives the right side, layup, no good, but she's fouled by Olivia Hedrick. And that is Hedrick's second foul, team third of the half. That will send Anaya Gideon to the free throw line to shoot 2.
That's going to be something to watch. If either Bradley or Hedrick gets in foul trouble, a third foul in this half for Hedrick would be pretty devastating, especially if it's with any sort of significant time left in the quarter. They can keep that the Bulldogs could keep Bradley out on the court.
Gideon's first free throw is good. Makes it now 19-15, Martinsburg leading Jefferson. Second free throw is good as well. Now 20-15, Martinsburg. 3:44 to go in the second quarter. Brezovic with it now for Jefferson. Breaks midcourt. Finds Powell Utley. Right side jumper is good. Powell Utley enters the score column. It's now 20-17.
shot that over a defender that was 13 inches taller than her, and she got it to go. That's an impressive shot.
That being Bradley. Bradley gets it to Strovel. Strovel drives in the left side. Her shot, no good. Rebounded by Jefferson, and a foul underneath the defensive basket for Jefferson with 3:19 to go. Fourth team foul for Martinsburg. It's Brezovic with the ball now for Jefferson, down by 3 against the Bulldogs. Taylor at midcourt, goes to the left side, picks up her dribble, finds Hoyler. Hoyler then gets it to Brezovic. Brezovic to Taylor. Long two-pointer from the left corner, around the rim and good. Taylor now makes it a 1-point game at 2019 with 2:55 to go in this second quarter.
These long two-pointers have been open for Jefferson. It's not a high percentage shot, but it might be something that they can look forward to exploit.
Strovel trying to post up. Her shot again misses off the backboard and then the rim. Rebounded by Jefferson. It's Taylor trying to give Jefferson its first lead of the evening. She finds Brezovic. Back to Hoyler. Right side corner shot. Airballed. Rebounded by Hedrick, and Hedrick's pass intercepted by Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick back the other way. Dribbles her way into the left wing. Now resets the offense. She bounce passes it to Santabria. Wide open three. It's good. Santabria extends the lead for Martinsburg to 23-19.
Turning defense into offense again. Fitzpatrick with the steal. Dribbles just a little bit. Defense comes out at her. She finds the open man.
Brezovic with the ball now. Long three-pointer at the top of the key. Front of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Bradley. Under 2 minutes remain in this second quarter. Santabria with the ball, driving the offense for Martinsburg. She finds Bradley at the top of the key. Bradley is double-teamed. Now has to pass it behind her to Santabria. Santabria finds Bradley. Bradley picks up her dribble, gives it back to Santabria. Left corner three for Santabria off the side of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Brezovic. Quickly goes back the other way is Brezovic. She now will slow it down. Finds Taylor. Taylor drives the left baseline. Shot is good on the layup by Jasmine Taylor. She now has 4 points, and it's 23-21. Martinsburg still leading Jefferson. 1:10 remains in the second quarter.
Like seeing Brezovic push the pace.
And a timeout is called by Martinsburg. We'll take a 30-second break alongside them. It's 23-21, Martinsburg leading Jefferson. You're tuned into West Virginia High School girls basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
For a sports mix, you'll hear interviews with prestigious guests.
Since you had that reunion, do you have a favorite memory from that season or maybe a funny story you'd like to share with our audience?
John Madden, the late great John Madden, came out to our practice on like Thursday. He turned to those guys and he said, "This game ain't going to be close. These guys are going to kill Buffalo."
Tune into the Sports Mix, weekdays from 12 to 1 on Talk Radio WRNR, FM 106.5, AM 740, TV 10, and streaming live on the TV 10 Facebook page.
High School, 1:06 to go in the second quarter. It is Martinsburg 23, Jefferson 21, as both teams trying to get their 6th win of the season respectively. It's Martinsburg 5-8 overall, Jefferson 5-9. So 12-10 first quarter, now 23-21 is where the score is. Martinsburg still in the lead as Jefferson is not led so far this evening. Before the timeout ends, it looks like we have a wet spot on the floor over in front of Martinsburg's bench, so Coach Ronnie Fitzpatrick will wipe that up with a towel before action resumes.
And making the head coach take the responsibility for it.
To the round of the applause of the fans as well in attendance. Now, I'll throw the towel back to his trainers and we'll get resumed in action. It's Martinsburg ball. The inbound to Santabria in the backcourt. She's immediately picked up by Powell Utley at Jefferson. Santabria almost has her pass stolen, but gets it to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick finds Gideon. Gideon then gets it to Bradley in the paint. Her shot misses. Rebounded by Gideon, who puts it up. That one also misses, and then she gets her own rebound, and it's tied up between her and Hedrick. Possession arrow gives the ball to Jefferson.
Hedrick has been doing a really good job on defense down low, not just scoring on the other end for the Cougars. I think first half so far in our big matchup of the centers down low, I got to give it to Hedrick so far, even though the Bulldogs lead by 2.
Brezovic with it. 40 seconds to go as Brezovic just dribbling it back and forth in between her hands, right at midcourt in the circle. She's now picked up by Sanabria, so she'll have to pass it to the left side to Taylor. Taylor then gets it to Brezovic, who ran over to the left corner. She drives the baseline, gets it to Hedrick. Hedrick puts it up and in. And Hedrick makes it a tie ball game at 23 apiece. She leads the way with 10 points tonight. Brooklyn Medina with it from Martinsburg. 10 seconds to go. It's Sanabria over to Fitzpatrick. Can they get a shot off this time? No. It's stolen by Taylor, and Taylor tries to break out of the pressure by Martinsburg and is fouled with 6.7 seconds to go in the second quarter.
Well, lucky for them, they had a foul to give. That would have been big to let the Cougars go get free throws. Try to easily take a lead.
6.7 seconds to go. The ball rolled into Taylor, who picks it up, gets it to Brezovic. Brezovic double-teamed and travels.
Yep.
So it's Martinsburg ball with 2.6 seconds to go. Tied up at 23 apiece now between Martinsburg and Jefferson. Fitzpatrick, long inbound, deflected by Taylor, and now chucked and not even close by Anaya Gideon, and we're tied at the half at 23 all between Jefferson and Martinsburg. We'll take a 2-minute break now. You're tuned into West Virginia High School girls basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs. Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve.
The Skinner Law Firm, SkinnerFirm.com.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
Conveniently located right off 81 at 214 Mid-Atlantic Parkway, Mountaineer Grill and Pub offers many daily specials, including happy hour 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. with $2 domestic bottles and $2.50 domestic drafts. Monday night is trivia night, Thursday night is wing night, and Wednesday and Sunday night is steak night.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
WVU Medicine is pleased to announce the relocation of our Berkeley Medical Center outpatient rehabilitation services to 1002 Tavern Road. This move gives Martinsburg Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation more room, more convenient parking, and a covered drive-up, drop-off area. WVU Medicine will continue to offer physical, occupational, and speech therapies for both adult and pediatric patients, as well as specialized services. For more info on this new location and services provided there, call 304-264-1214.
Welcome back to Jefferson High School. At the half, we're tied up at 23 all between Martinsburg and Jefferson in tonight's West Virginia High School girls basketball action as we welcome into the halftime show. Brought to you by the Mansion Freddie Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com. Let's now get right into our first half stats and start off with Martinsburg. Leading scorer for the Bulldogs so far is Bradley with 6 points. Behind her is Fitzpatrick and Strovel with 4 points each. Sanabria has 3 points, and then 2 points for Gideon, 2 more for Nelson, and 2 more for Medina. That's the 23 points for Martinsburg in this first half. For Jefferson, the leading scorer is Hedrick with 10 points. And then Brezovic and Taylor have 4 points each. Shanley hit a 3, and Powell Utley has 2 points to total up the 23 for Jefferson. That's your first half stats. Let's take another 2-minute break now on the Mansion Freddie Law Firm halftime show. And on the other side of that 2-minute break, you'll hear from Spencer Dupuis. You're tuned into West Virginia High School girls basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back and forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body. You've put up with your water long enough. It's time for Sunset Water Services, your local water solution since 1989, to fix your water problems. Get better tasting, better smelling, and better looking water today. Say hello to drinking your own delicious water for pennies per gallon. Say yes to healthier skin and hair and to softer and brighter clothes. Sunset Water Services delivers your bags of salt to you, so they'll save your back too. And our products come with a 1-year satisfaction guarantee. Call 304-754-9031 for a free water quality test today. SunsetWater.com.
Good evening. Welcome in to this halftime scoreboard show. Halftime and one scoreboard show brought to you by the Mountaineer Pub, located at 214 Mid-Atlantic Parkway in Martinsburg. I'm Spencer Dupuis. Tie ball game between Martinsburg and Jefferson on the girls basketball side. 23-all at halftime. Game you're tuned into on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10, also on WRNR TV on YouTube. At halftime for girls basketball, the other game happening in the Eastern Panhandle, Spring Mills is on top of Mercersburg Academy, 28-15. No surprise there. They're about 5.5 minutes away from starting the second half. And the other game going on tonight in the Eastern Panhandle is boys basketball action down in Inwood at Musselman, as unfortunately the Musselman Applemen in the winding seconds are likely here to fall by 9, I believe, under 30 seconds to go to University. 67-59 is the score right now. Let's look at college hoops right now. Unranked Boston College has a 4-point lead over Clemson, the number 20th team in the nation, with 11:26 left in the second half, 45-41. It's a tie ball game between number 23 Miami and Virginia Tech with 11:56 left to go in the contest, 61-all. And a battle in the Big 12, the number 8 team Kansas hosting number 7 Kansas State. 16-13 is the lead for Kansas. Only other game currently in action is number 24 UConn at unranked DePaul. 17-16 lead for UConn, 11:29 left in the first. Other games tonight, Vanderbilt at number 4 Alabama, and the one you can tune into on Talk Radio WRNR after the conclusion of this ball game, West Virginia at number 15 TCU. Tip-off for that is at 9. We should get you there right around 9 p.m. Also at 9 p.m., number 21 Indiana at Maryland. Maryland at home favored by 3 in that contest. Also to wrap up the night at 11 p.m., number 22 San Diego State at Nevada. Get a breaking EPAC commitment for you. And it's a Martinsburg player, so those in the Martinsburg audience tuned in. Not sure if you have seen this yet, but Jameer Hunter has announced his commitment to Fairmont State University. That comes after a log of receivers going to stay in the Eastern Panhandle and play for Shepherd. As Spencer Powell from Jefferson, he joins players from he joins Roman Pearson from Martinsburg and Isaiah Fritz. Also Tanner Matthew from Hedgesville. He has committed to play at West Virginia Wesley, and we'll get all those with tomorrow being National Signing Day. But that will do it for me here in the studio. After this break, we will send it back out to the Cougar Cage as they get second half going in this tight contest here in EPAC Girls Hoops. You're tuned in. You've been tuned in to the Mountaineer Pub halftime and one scoreboard show. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
Welcome back to Jefferson High School as we enter the third quarter, tied up at 23 apiece between Martinsburg and Jefferson as these two teams ready to go. It's a 10-minute half usually. Both teams came out from the locker rooms with 5 minutes still on the clock, and then at a minute and a half still in halftime, they were ready to go already on the bench waiting for the officials to allow them to start.
Yeah,
Martinsburg with the ball, and it's Fitzpatrick airballing from the left elbow to start off this third quarter.
I think Fitzpatrick just kind of rushed that shot up there. She did a good job of finding a little hole in the zone. She's been doing that all game long, finding those creases in the 2-3 zone. But that just kind of got away from her on the shot.
Fitzpatrick averages 12 points a game, already a third of the way there with 4, as now Hedrick with the ball throws it over the head of Powell Utley. It goes out of bounds, and it's a turnover, giving the ball back to Martinsburg as Hedrick 6'4" compared to a 5'4" Powell Utley, so not that hard to throw it over her head.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Got to work on the angles.
Taylor steals it. Back the other way goes Jefferson. Right side layup is good, and Jefferson, for the first time tonight, lead Martinsburg 25-23. Santabria with it to Fitzpatrick. Left wing, Fitzpatrick banks it in from the elbow. We're tied back up at 25.
Airballed the last one, so it's kind of overcompensated, but it worked out because it banked in.
It's Brezovic with the ball now for Jefferson. 6:50 to go in this third quarter. Brezovic finds Taylor. She drives in the left baseline, lays it up and in. Taylor now doubling her points so far. She had 4 in the first half. She now has 4 more in the second half and gives Jefferson the lead right back at 27-25.
It was a quick start for these offenses that didn't reach 25 points in the first half.
Santabria drives to the left side, goes into the paint, puts up a left-handed layup, and is fouled. She missed the layup, so she'll shoot 2 free throws.
It seems like a lot more urgency out of the offenses so far. Not as much moving the ball around. It's just kind of cut right in and find those holes in the 2-3 zones and put a shot up. And it's worked out.
First free throw up, around the rim, and no good by Santabria. 6.5 remain in this third quarter. It's still 27-25. Jefferson now leading Martinsburg as Santabria with the ball for her second free throw attempt. Spins it in her hand. The shot is now up into the air off the front and then back of the rim and falls through. So it's a 1-point lead now for Jefferson over Martinsburg at 27-26. Taylor passes it into the left corner for Hoyler. Hoyler then floats a pass to the right elbow for Powell Utley, who finds Brezovic in the right corner wide open for 3. It's no good. Rebounded by Bradley. Bradley then gets it to Fitzpatrick. Transition offense is rejected on the left side layup, and that rejection by Taylor, who immediately is grabbing her eye. It looks like she might have been poked going in for that one. So it's Martinsburg ball still after the rejection. Bradley gets the inbound, immediately puts up a shot. It goes off the side of the rim and no good. Rebounded by Hoyler for Jefferson. Jefferson still leads by 1. It's Brezovic with the ball for the Cougars. She gets it to Hedrick. Hedrick's double-teamed. Her pass gets deflected. Still finds Powell Utley. Powell Utley then sprints in, dribbling with her right hand into the right side, and it's tipped out of bounds. Jefferson ball with 5:51 to go in the third. Brezovic to inbound for Jefferson. Overhead pass finds Hoyler. Hoyler then finds a wide open Taylor. Left wing three, way off the mark. Just falls into the lap of Fitzpatrick, and Fitzpatrick loses her dribble. And picking up the dribble is Martinsburg's Sanabria. She tries to put up a layup on the left side. She misses. They say it went out off her, so it's Jefferson ball.
Just getting a little sloppy there, out of control, trying to force something when there's not quite anything there.
Brezovic with it. Gets it to the corner, driving the left side spoiler. She then passes it to Hedrick, and Hedrick will give it to Taylor to reset the offense. Jefferson still trying to use that left side, and the pass intended for Hedrick gets swatted through her hands out of bounds by Cadence Bradley at Martinsburg, so it's Jefferson ball. 5:18 remains in this third quarter. It's still 27-26 Jefferson. Brezovic gets the inbounds, finds Hedrick wide open. She tried to bank it in. The shot no good. Ball now on the floor and recovered by Martinsburg's Cadence Bradley. They then get it to Sanabria. Tiana Sanabria picks up her dribble, finds Fitzpatrick for three. No good, but she's fouled from behind with exactly 5 minutes to go in this third quarter. And now Fitzpatrick can give Martinsburg the lead with 3 free throw attempts.
That's rough. Can't foul the three-point shooter. That's just one of the most devastating things you can do on defense.
Kayla Fitzpatrick, 6 points tonight. First free throw grazes the front of the rim and no good. Our third quarter is presented on TV 10 by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your local insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Phone 304-263-3361. As the second free throw is good, we're now tied up at 27 apiece. Third free throw off the front of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Brezovic. Brezovic with the ball now for Jefferson. Finds Shanley, right corner three, off the top of the backboard and no good. Our other third quarter sponsor is Hagerstown Ford. Revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to HagerstownFord.com for more. Shanley put all the power she had on that three-pointer. Sanabria with the ball. Kicking it out to the right corner for Strovel. Ball now swung around, finds Bradley at the top of the key. Three-pointer no good. Rebounded by Gideon in the paint, and she puts it up and in. Martinsburg now retakes the lead at 29-27.
That's big with Bradley shooting the three out at the top of the key to get that offensive rebound. That's a huge play right there.
It's Taylor with the ball for Jefferson. Gets it to Brezovic, and Brezovic puts up a 13-foot jumper at the right baseline, and we're tied back up at 29 with 4 minutes to go in this third quarter.
Shots are starting to fall for both of these teams. It's shaping up for a fun second half.
Bradley at the top of the key will pass it towards midcourt to Sanabria. Sanabria then passes it to Fitzpatrick. Back and forth between Bradley and Sanabria, now finding Gideon, who gets it into the paint to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, shot no good, gets her own rebound, and then is fouled on the floor with 3:48 to go in this third quarter. And that's the third team foul in this quarter now against Jefferson.
Still none on Martinsburg. They've played disciplined, but you're starting to get into dangerous territory this early in the third quarter to get up to 3 fouls.
Sanabria to inbound for Martinsburg. Able to bounce past it into the left block for Strovel. Her shot misses. Rebounded by Brezovic for Jefferson. She'll sprint back the other way. Dribbling back and forth is Brezovic. She now picks it up. Finds Shanley, who immediately passes it down low into the paint for Hedrick. And Hedrick gets fouled on her shot, so that sends her to the charity stripe. It's the first team foul of the half against Martinsburg.
Foul on Bradley. So there's our matchup again. Hedrick getting fouled by Bradley.
Well, they're actually going to call it on Strovel, not Bradley, as
okay.
Hedrick makes her first free throw. It's now a 1-point lead at 30-29 for Jefferson.
I see. I saw the ref throw up 34 when he threw up 33.
Second free throw up for Hedrick is good. It's now a 2-point lead at 31-29 with 3.5 to go in this third quarter. Jefferson leading Martinsburg. Martinsburg with the ball at Sanabria. She picks up her dribble at midcourt, then passes it to Gideon, who passes it back to Santabria. Santabria's pass deflected, but goes to Bradley, who gives it to Fitzpatrick. Three-pointer from the right wing, no good, off the front of the rim, rebounded by Gideon. Gideon gets it to Santabria. Her shot is airballed, tipped out of bounds, last off Hoyler of Jefferson, so it's Martinsburg ball.
Fitzpatrick missed Strovel down low. A good, nice placed ball, bounce pass would have given her a really open layup.
Bradley gets the inbound, gives it to Strovel, who then kicks it out to Gideon, and Gideon airballs it again. Rebounded by Jefferson's Brezovic, who goes back up the floor for the Cougars. She finds Hoyler wide open in the left corner. Her shot off the back of the iron, no good, rebounded by Fitzpatrick. A quick possession this time for Jefferson. They lead 31-29. It's Gideon, though, tying it up with a left side layup at 31 all now. Gideon has 6 points. Taylor goes into the paint. Her layup is good, and Taylor, what a quarter for her now. She has 10 points, 6 points this quarter.
The Bulldogs fell asleep getting back on defense. That's as simple as it gets there.
33-31, Jefferson leads Martinsburg. 2:25 to go, and it's a three-pointer. Kayla Fitzpatrick gives the lead back to Martinsburg.
Phew, that looked like it was close to NBA range. Deep three.
Ball goes out of bounds into Jefferson's bench with 2:13 to go in this third quarter. It's Martinsburg 34, Jefferson 33 is the ball. Last off Martinsburg. Shanley in the right corner gets the inbound. Her three-pointer air ball goes into the lap of Gideon. Gideon back the other way for Martinsburg. And she'll lose her dribble. It's last out of bounds off Brezovic, they say, for Jefferson, so it's Martinsburg ball. That was close. I thought it went out off Gideon, and Brezovic didn't touch it until it already hit the baseline, but the official down below us saw otherwise. And no, it was not your roommate and Jake Long, so you can't give him a hard time, Dylan.
No, not on this call. Not yet, at least.
Still have some time.
Right, of course.
Santabria inbounds it to Fitzpatrick. Right corner, wide open three, around the rim and good. Fitzpatrick with back-to-back threes. Now has 9 points this quarter, 13 total. It's 37-33. Martinsburg up by 4 on Jefferson.
Heating up.
Ball into the hands of Jefferson's Hedrick down low. Her shot too hard off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Santabria. And her bounce pass off the mark intended for Medina, but it was tipped at the last second by Taylor, so the ball stays with Martinsburg. It's Medina at the point, passing it to the left side for Fitzpatrick. Back to Medina now at the top of the key, back to Fitzpatrick. To Medina. Medina, back to Fitzpatrick. She now finds Strovel in the corner and then back to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, each time she gets the ball, is covered closer and closer. She finds Bradley in the paint. Her shot, no good. Thought originally there was a deflection on the shot, but they say it wasn't. So it's Martinsburg turning it over and giving it to Jefferson. 1:10 to go in this third quarter. Taylor to Shanley. Shanley's pass tipped, intercepted by Medina of Martinsburg. She'll now dribble with her right hand up the right side. Her pass intercepted by Brezovic. Brezovic now double teamed, so she'll have to slow it down for Jefferson. She's able to dribble through him. Able to dribble through a third. Coast to coast, Brezovic gets it to go. It's now 37-35.
Wow, that was impressive. Almost looked like could have gotten out of control there, but Brezovic calm and composed. What a floater.
Santabria, Fitzpatrick. 35 seconds to go. They find Strovel in the left corner wide open. She'll then pass it back to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick puts up a shot off the mark. Rebounded by Shanley. It's Jefferson with the ball, trailing 37-35, and 20 seconds remain in this third quarter. Brezovic at mid-court passes the timeline and now passes it to Taylor. Taylor, 6 points already this quarter. Now gets it to Hedrick down low, and she's fouled by Cadence Bradley with 9.3 seconds left. I believe that's Bradley's second foul. Team second this quarter.
I think you're right.
Strovel inbounds to Hedrick. Hedrick in the paint, puts up a shot, banks it in, and fouled. We're tied at 37, and Hedrick can give Jefferson the lead with this free throw.
Like I said, I think the first half that center versus center matchup went to Olivia Hedrick. And it looks like round number 3 is going 10-9 to Hedrick as well if I'm scoring it.
She now has 14 points tonight. 6.8 seconds to go in this third quarter. We're tied up at 37. Free throw by Hedrick is good. Jefferson now leads 38-37. 15 points for Hedrick. Ball inbounded to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick going to keep it herself. Left side jumper is good at the buzzer. Martinsburg now leads 39-38 at the end of the third. And what a show it was between Fitzpatrick, Taylor, and Hedrick. We'll head to the fourth after this 1-minute break. It's Martinsburg 39, Jefferson 38. You're tuned into West Virginia High School girls basketball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Hi, this is Lauren from Orsini's right here in Martinsburg. Grilling is not just for the boys. We are a Platinum Traeger dealer carrying the Pro Series all the way up to the Timberline Series. We have every flavor of wood pellets along with accessories, rubs, sauces. Not just Traeger, we carry Utz, Meat Church, Lanes, and Dizzy Pig. We also carry a full line of Yeti products. Orsini's has everything to complete your backyard. Visit us at 360 Hack Wilson Way or at Orsinis.com.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Thinking about making that big move but don't know where to start? Then call Chris Ross in the Milestone Real Estate Group. Chris is a Martinsburg High School graduate and knows the local market, and he's proven it for the past 15 years at Milestone Real Estate Group. Looking to sell or buy a home? Phone 304-579-7349. That's 304-579-7349. Or go to callchrisross.com. Making milestones is our business.
Welcome back to Jefferson High School. Into the fourth quarter we go. It is Martinsburg 39, Jefferson 38. This highly contested West Virginia High School girls basketball action tonight on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10. I'm Colin McLaughlin. Alongside me is Dylan Bishop. We have Nick Verzolini and Gerald Wright as our camera crew. And back at the studio is Spencer Dupuis. Jefferson starts with the ball. It's Taylor leading the point, then passing it over to Sampson. Sampson back to Taylor in the right corner now is Taylor. She then gets it to Sampson at the wing. Back to Taylor, ran from the corner to the top of the key and now is on the left side. She'll then pass it back to the top of the key for Sampson. Back over to Taylor, drives to the left side, puts up a layup off the right side of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Brezovic. Brezovic into the paint, is tied up with Gideon. Held ball, possession arrow, gives it to Martinsburg. Sanabria with the ball off the inbound for the Lady Bulldogs, who lead the Lady Cougars by 1 with 7.5 to go in this fourth quarter. Bradley back to Sanabria. To Fitzpatrick, back to Sanabria. Back and forth they go. Gets it to Strovel. Strovel then to Bradley. Bradley posting up on the left side. Her shot misses and rebounded by Hoyler. She'll then pass it to Brezovic, who leads the offense up the floor for Jefferson. 7 minutes remain in this fourth quarter. It's Brezovic guarded by Gideon. She'll now pass it to Taylor. Taylor, a brief drive in on the left baseline, then quickly pulls up for a shot. It's no good. Rebounded by Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick goes back up the floor by herself. Lost her dribble, then went up for a shot and was rejected by Taylor, and it went out of bounds. Martinsburg ball.
That's a good break for the Bulldogs. Keep that ball. A nice block.
Long inbound to Sanabria at the left wing. She gets it to Gideon, who inbounded it to her. She'll dribble and then pass it into the block. Posting up's Bradley. Her shot hits the front of the rim, then rolls in. Cadence Bradley now enters the score column for the first time in half number 2. She has 8 points in total and extends Martinsburg's lead to 41-38 over Jefferson. Pass intercepted by Fitzpatrick for Martinsburg. She dribbles up the floor, loses the dribble. It's now stolen by Taylor. Taylor all alone up the floor. Right side layup is good, and the foul. Taylor will have the and one opportunity, trailing by 1 now at 41-40. Is that foul against Fitzpatrick?
Big time second half for Jasmine Taylor, the junior.
If you're Fitzpatrick, you got to let her go there. You were a step and a half behind.
Yeah, I know Fitzpatrick's athletic, can make up a lot of ground on a lot of people. But
and now we're tied as Taylor makes that free throw.
That's just not one of them. You got to let that go.
41-41 is your score. 6:10 to go in this fourth quarter. It's Martinsburg ball. Santa Maria to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick passes it to Gideon. Gideon to the right side for Strovel, who then finds Santa Maria. Back to Gideon. Back out to Santa Maria. Long three-pointer from the right wing. Almost banked in, but it went off the rim. No good. Rebounded on the floor by Hoyler. Hoyler kind of awkwardly was having the ball just pinned onto the floor. She gets tied up with Bradley. Jump ball, Jefferson ball. Fourth quarter presented on TV 10 by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons, as well as WVU Medicine, Berkeley, and Jefferson Medical Centers, leading healthcare here and everywhere. Brezovic for Jefferson passes it to Taylor at the left wing. Taylor then floats a pass to the right side for Sampson. Sampson finds Hoyler. Bounce pass back to Sampson. Three-pointer off the side of the rim. No good from the right corner. And then almost was rebounded by Taylor, but she rolls it through her legs and out of bounds. Martinsburg gets the ball with 5.5 to go in this fourth quarter. Still tied up at 41 all.
The Bulldogs lucked out there. They got the first touch on the rebound, but then couldn't handle it. Almost let Jasmine Taylor come in and steal it.
42-37 was the score last time these two teams met on January 3rd. A similar one tonight at 41 all. It's Brooklyn Medina with the ball for Martinsburg. She passes it to Fitzpatrick at the top of midcourt. Is Medina now with it. Fitzpatrick finds Santa Maria. She puts up a shot at the left block and fouled with the body by Hedrick. And that is Hedrick's third foul. Team third of the half, as they're going to say it was a shooting foul. So that will send Martinsburg to the line as it's Tiana Santa Maria to shoot two. She is 1 for 2 from the free throw line tonight. That coming last quarter.
Up to the fourth team foul now as they update the scoreboard. So 4 for both teams.
Off the front of the rim was the first free throw attempt. No good, so the score remains at 41-41. Santa Maria with 4 points tonight. Gets the ball back for her second free throw attempt now. Shot is up. She makes the second one just like she did the first time around. She now has 5 points and gives Martinsburg a 42-41 lead with 5 minutes to go in the fourth. Brezovic with the ball for Jefferson. Dribbles to the left side, then passes it out to Taylor. Taylor drives the baseline, finds Hoyler wide open from the left elbow. Shot around the rim, into the air, no good. Rebounded by Martinsburg, who's fouled. That's the 5th team foul against Jefferson. On the defensive end this time as well. And that's against Hedrick. 4 fouls now for Olivia Hedrick. 1 more and she's done.
I just saw Cadence Bradley look to her teammate, throw up the number 4. She knows.
Let's see if they try to get the ball to Bradley as she's guarded by Hedrick. It's Brooklyn Medina with it currently. They get it to Bradley, but this time she was guarded by Hoyler, and Hoyler tips it out of bounds. It's Martinsburg ball. And Shanley's going to get subbed in for Hedrick since there's still 4:36 left.
Yeah,
this fourth.
That is huge that they have to take out Hedrick. That's the first time she's seen the bench all game long.
Ball inbounded to Medina, who almost went into the backcourt, was able to keep her feet in the front court. It's Medina over to Gideon, long three from the left wing. It's good. Gideon makes it 45-41 Martinsburg.
Wow.
That's her 9th point tonight.
Keep an eye. It was a 1-point game when Hedrick left.
Pass stolen by Fitzpatrick. She's up the floor all by herself. Left side layup is good by Fitzpatrick. And a timeout called by Jefferson. It's now 47-41. We'll step aside, take a 30-second break. You're tuned into West Virginia High School girls basketball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve.
The Skinner Law Firm, SkinnerFirm.com.
Welcome back to Jefferson High School. It is 47-41, Martinsburg leading Jefferson, even though right now the scoreboard reads 47-43. That's because after that shot by Fitzpatrick, they accidentally gave the point to Jefferson, and the scoreboard then read 45-43. They now have it corrected.
There we go.
So fortunately, something that down the road might not wreak havoc accidentally. So good thing they caught it early.
Yeah.
I didn't want to yell down from up here. So.
Right.
It's 47-41. 4:08 remains in this fourth quarter. Jefferson ball after the timeout. They have 3 remaining. Sampson passes it across the line at midcourt to Brezovic. Brezovic finds Shanley in the right corner. Wide open 3. Overshot into the hands of Fitzpatrick. Back the other way. She finds Medina in front of her, but the pass is stolen by Taylor. Taylor double dribbles.
Yep.
They say when she originally caught it, put it down once for a dribble, picked it up, dribbled again. Turnover, Martinsburg ball.
That's the right call. I saw it too.
Yep, you can tell him good job, Dylan.
Yeah. Put 2 hands on the ball and then try to dribble it again.
Santa Bria to inbound. Gets it to Bradley. Bradley finds Medina, who pump fakes, but her pivot foot kept moving during the pump fake. It's a travel. Jefferson gets the ball, trailing by 6 at 47-41 with 3:46 to go in this fourth quarter.
Again, they've had to have Hedrick subbed out with 4 fouls for the last minute. It was a 1-point game when she went out.
Brezovic, left elbow shot is good. 47-43 now.
I said earlier Brezovic was going to have to carry them, her and Hedrick. And with
She has
Hedrick
10
out,
points tonight.
Jasmine Taylor stepped up, but Brezovic's been the constant all game long.
Double teamed is Bradley. She's still able to power through at the right block. Cadence Bradley now has 10 points, and it's a 6-point lead again for Martinsburg.
And there you go. Olivia Hedrick not in the game.
Will be in the minds of everybody. When does Hedrick come back in for Jefferson?
Right, makes
Coiler, left side shot no good. Rebounded by Brezovic. Her shot no good. Tipped off Martinsburg. It went out of bounds. Jefferson ball.
Now it's Bradley with someone other than Hedrick finally guarding her down low. She's able to turn and not look at someone
Hedrick
right
has 4 fouls. 3 minutes remain. Inbound, tipped out of bounds by Gideon. 3:01 in this fourth quarter. Hedrick still on the bench with 4 fouls for Jefferson, who trail by 6 right now against Martinsburg.
I imagine you won't see Hedrick come back in until at least 2.5 minutes, maybe around closer to 2.
Taylor to Brezovic. Left corner 3 by Brezovic. Tried to bank in, no good. Almost rebounded by Sampson. It went through her legs into Martinsburg's. I believe that's
Nope, here she comes.
Santa Bria, and it went out of bounds. Martinsburg ball, and as Dylan just said, Olivia Hedrick will check in for Shanley. But she'll have to be careful with 4 fouls and 2:51 still in this fourth quarter. But you have to have her in if you want to come back and win this one.
Now, she's been winning the matchup on this side of the floor with her defense, so we'll see how much they try to get it to Bradley, try to draw that foul.
Bradley has it at the top of the key. Pass tipped. Almost losing it was Gideon. She's now double-teamed in the right corner, and a timeout will be called by Coach Fitzpatrick of Martinsburg. Let's take a 30-second break with them. 2:33 to go in this fourth quarter. It's 49-43 Martinsburg. You're tuned into West Virginia High School girls basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for Dollar Wings and Monday Night Football. Thursdays on the patio for the Cornhole Tourney. Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
Back to the Cougar cage at Jefferson High School. West Virginia High School girls basketball action tonight on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Martinsburg leads Jefferson 49-43. It's Martinsburg ball after its timeout. Ball inbounded to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick then gives it right back to Santa Bria after the inbound in the right corner. Santa Bria dribbles it to midcourt, and her pass goes to Gideon, who then throws it over the head of Bradley and out of bounds. They'll say it was deflected, however, by Brezovic, so the ball stays in the possession of Martinsburg.
Yeah, I don't know if it might have even been Hedrick, but I do think that the Cougars had the last hand on that.
Santa Bria inbounds to Bradley. Bradley puts up a shot. It's no good. Ball tipped around, eventually into the hands of Brezovic for Jefferson. She'll go back the other way. Right side layup is good, and the foul.
Wow.
That makes it now 49-45. And Brezovic at the free throw line for Jefferson. 2:13 to go in this fourth quarter. It's a 4-point lead. Brezovic trying to make it a one-possession game if she can sink this free throw. She's 2 for 2 tonight from the free throw line. Misses this one. It's rebounded by Cadence Bradley in Martinsburg. Gideon gets the pass from Bradley and then gives it to Santa Maria. 2 minutes remain in this fourth quarter. Santa Maria with the ball at midcourt. Dribbling. Picks up her dribble. Finds Gideon, and Gideon gets chopped from underneath her when she jumped up for the pass by Taylor. And that's the 6th team foul on Jefferson, which means one more and Martinsburg has the bonus. Santa Maria to inbound. She'll inbound it into the back court for Martinsburg. It goes to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick at midcourt. Crosses the timeline. Dribbling back and forth, Fitzpatrick. She picks up her dribble, finds Santa Maria. Santa Maria, right side, layup rejected by Hedrick. She'll get it to Brezovic. Brezovic goes back up the floor, quickly pulls up from the right elbow, and it's good. That one bounced around 3 times on the rim before falling through. 14 points for Brezovic. 2-point game with 90 seconds left in the fourth.
Friendly roll. That's 4 points in a row. Get them back into this.
Gideon in the paint. Shot no good. Tipped out of bounds. Last off Jefferson. Martinsburg keeps possession. 1:19 remains in this fourth quarter. It's Martinsburg 49, Jefferson 47. Gideon to inbound. Bounce passes it in. Shot by Strovel. Rejected again by Hedrick. Taylor. Sampson, right side layup, no good, and a whistle blows. Travel violation against Sampson. Almost thought for a half second it was going to be a foul.
I thought so too.
But they called the walk first. 1:08 in this fourth quarter. Martinsburg has the ball, slowly bringing it up the floor is Santa Maria. She passes it across midcourt to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick to Bradley. Santa Maria to Fitzpatrick. Back to Santa Maria at midcourt. Martinsburg just playing keep away right now, up by 2. No shot clock in West Virginia, so they don't have to put up a shot. They can just hold it out until Jefferson fouls.
They don't. Yep, got to get the ball.
And now a timeout will be called by Martinsburg. That put the clock now at 41.7 seconds left. We'll keep it here. It's Martinsburg 49, Jefferson 47. Jefferson 16 fouls so far. Martinsburg has 5. So one more foul for Jefferson would put Martinsburg with the 1-1, Dylan, but that just wasted, 20, 30 seconds, I think?
Close to 30.
And no foul there?
Yeah, I think Hedrick made that block with about 1:15 left. Came down, got that travel just a few seconds later. That's a lot of time to run off this clock. I know you don't want to foul immediately every time. You want to try to go get the turnover instead so you don't even have to worry about any sort of free throws, even if it is just a 1-1. But that was a lot of time to run off the clock. Eventually, you don't get that steal. You got to try to force it in the hands of one of the worst free throw shooters on the floor and then foul her, send to the line.
If you do foul, though, for Jefferson, it cannot be Olivia Hedrick. She's the leading scorer with 15 points tonight, but she has 4 fouls. Timeout concludes. Fitzpatrick to inbound. She throws it into the backcourt to Santa Maria, who's guarded by Sampson. She brings it across midcourt. Now finds Bradley. Bradley almost has it stolen by Brezovic, but they're going to call reach-in foul. So that's going to send Cadence Bradley to the free throw line to shoot the 1-1 as that foul against Brezovic. With 33.9 seconds left in this fourth quarter, it's a 2-point lead at 49-47 for Martinsburg.
That probably is one of the more ideal options to send to the free throw line, but Bradley can shoot a little bit.
First free throw on the 1-1 is up and good by Cadence Bradley. That now makes it a 3-point lead at 50-47. She now has 11 points tonight. Bradley gets the ball for her second free throw. That one's up. And good as well. She now has 12 points, makes it a 4-point lead at 51-47.
That's big.
Taylor gets the inbound. Quickly brings it up the floor for Jefferson on the left side, and a timeout will be called, a full timeout for Jefferson. So let's take a 30-second break. You're tuned into West Virginia High School girls basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10.
Catch the excitement of high school basketball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV10, featuring the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference.
Barkley's got the steal all by himself. He'll go up for the two-handed slam dunk.
All 6 EPAC schools, regular season and postseason, live here.
Now over to Clark from 3, and that's through. LeClay Clark nails it.
Time to start the fourth quarter for Musselman. Slick now
Driving the right side, and it is rejected by foul.
Your home for local sports is right here on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV10.
In high school, 29.3 seconds remain in the fourth quarter. It is a 51-47 lead for Martinsburg on Jefferson. As the full timeout still currently going on, that was called by Jefferson. They have 2 remaining for both sides. As Jefferson has the ball, trailing by 4. They'll break the huddle first and go onto the court. Now Martinsburg does so as well. It was a 42-37 game last time between these two on January 3rd.
Yeah,
Martinsburg
got
got
some
the
shots
win.
to fall now.
Jefferson trying to come back. Ball inbounded to Sampson. Sampson back to Taylor. Finds Shanley. Left corner 3. Off the side of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Sampson. Sampson tries to get it out to Taylor. Able to do so. Taylor, long 2-pointer, is good. 17 seconds to go. It's now 51-49. As Taylor with 15 points. They find Gideon. Gideon shot. No good. Tipped back. Shanley finds Taylor. And we have a whistle with 3.9 seconds left and a full timeout called by Jefferson. They can make a 3-pointer and win it. 2-pointer ties it. Great job by Hedrick to realize that Gideon was going to shoot there. She had 4 fouls, knew not to reach in, instead just went straight up with her 6'4" frame and was able to make sure that shot didn't go through.
Yeah, that was a really good heads-up play there. So now you're in a situation where one shot, you got a chance. You go for the tie, you go for the win. In my opinion, you go for the best shot. If it ends up overtime, it happens.
3.9 seconds remain in the fourth quarter. What a game it has been. At the end of the first, it was Martinsburg leading 12-10, and then at halftime it was 23-all. End of the third, it was Martinsburg 39-38, and now here we are with 3.9 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. It is Martinsburg 51, Jefferson 49. The timeout concludes. Let's see what Jefferson drew up. They have the inbound at midcourt. It will be Taylor to inbound for Jefferson. She inbounds to Sampson. Wide open 3. No good off the side of the rim. Shanley, though, at the buzzer, at the paint, puts it in. We're tied and heading to overtime. Shanley, the hero to keep this one alive for Jefferson. Let's step aside and take a 1-minute break and then be back for overtime. You're tuned into West Virginia High School girls basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10.
My kids. You know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Welcome back. We're in overtime in West Virginia high school girls basketball action between Jefferson and Martinsburg. Shanley at the buzzer on the rebound, tied it up at 51 apiece. 4 minutes in overtime, and it's Jefferson to win the opening tip. Brezovic has the ball for the Cougars. At midcourt dribbling is Mackenzie Brezovic running the offense now. Crowd into this one. Brezovic goes over to the right corner. Three-pointer by Sampson, no good. Rebounded by Fitzpatrick for Martinsburg. Fitzpatrick brings it up the floor for the Bulldogs. Now passes it to the right wing for Santa Maria. She gets it down low to Strovel. Her shot gets rejected back into her. She then kicks it out to Santa Maria. Right side three is good by Santa Maria. It's now 54-51 Martinsburg. Shanley gets it down low to Hedrick. Hedrick into the paint, banks it up and in. Olivia Hedrick now makes it a one-point game again at 54-53. Martinsburg still leads. 3 minutes left in the first overtime.
Let's not forget Olivia Hedrick is playing with 4 fouls.
Pass deflected, stolen from going out of bounds by Taylor. Back the other way is Taylor. Layup's good. Jefferson leads. 17 points now for Taylor.
Huge game for Taylor. We knew Hedrick and Brezovic would have to step up, but so is she.
Bradley kicks it out to Santa Maria, finds Gideon. Gideon a long two around the rim, no good. Rebounded by Santa Maria. Santa Maria tries to get it to Strovel, and 2 players on the floor rolling in pain. It is Jefferson's Shanley as well as Martinsburg's Santa Maria. 2.5 minutes remain in overtime. Those two got tied up on the floor. And we'll take a 30-second break due to the injuries. Hopefully both are okay, but you're tuned into West Virginia High School Girls Basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10.
On the Sports Mix, you'll hear interviews with prestigious guests.
Since you had that reunion, do you have a favorite memory from that season or maybe a funny story you'd like to share with our audience?
John Madden, the late, great John Madden, came out to our practice on, Thursday. He turned to those guys and he said, this game ain't going to be close. These guys are going to kill Buffalo.
Tune into the Sports Mix, weekdays from 12 to 1 on Talk Radio WRNR, FM 106.5, AM 740, TV 10, and streaming live on the TV 10 Facebook page.
Welcome back to Jefferson High School. 2:30 remains in the first overtime. It is Jefferson 55, Martinsburg 54, as Tiana Sanabria has been carried off the floor from Martinsburg after being injured, but for Jefferson, Hannah Shanley still on the floor after being tied up with Santa Maria. Seems to be in pain. Hopefully nothing too serious, as she was the one in the fourth quarter at the buzzer to be the one to send us into overtime. And what a game it's been for her, somebody that has really had to step up for Jefferson with 3 seniors no longer on the team, and Grace Dodson, a typical starter for Jefferson, injured in yesterday's game, not playing today because of that injury, and now Shanley, who has 5 points tonight currently, may or may not be a serious injury that keeps her out of the game. Hopefully nothing too bad, but she's going to be helped up now and seems to be okay. Smiling about it, so that's something positive to see. Still favoring that right shoulder, but she's going to be able to jog off under her own power, and hopefully we'll see if she can come back in. But both her and Santa Maria on the bench now, and hopefully both okay in the long run. As we'll resume action, it will be, looks like, Jefferson ball with the inbound, leading by 1 at 55-54 on Martinsburg. Sampson inbounds to Taylor. We'll slowly bring it up the floor for the Lady Cougars. She now crosses midcourt. It's Taylor all alone, and since nobody's going to come towards her, she's going to going to waste as much time as she possibly can. Martinsburg playing a 2-3 zone, and now Medina going to creep a little bit closer to Taylor. She'll now pass it over to Hoyler. Hoyler back to Taylor. And Taylor will now go onto the Cougar paw to the left side of midcourt before floating it back to Hoyler. Hoyler gets picked up, dribbles, and then hands it back to Taylor, and Taylor goes back to midcourt.
There's no shot clock, so they're
just
satisfied.
Trying to waste as much time as possible. Now Taylor gets it over to Sampson. Long two, airballed, goes right into the hands of Strobel for Martinsburg. Minute 40 to go in overtime. It's Medina with the ball now for Martinsburg, trailing by 1. Gets it to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick drives in, wide open into the paint. Her shot, no good. Rebounded down low by Gideon, and Gideon is tied up. Possession arrow keeps it with Martinsburg. 1:32 remains in this first overtime. It is Jefferson 55, Martinsburg 54.
Another break going the way of Martinsburg to have the possession arrow at that time.
Medina inbounds it to Fitzpatrick. Wide open right corner three off the back of the iron. No good. Rebounded by Gideon. Her shot rejected by Hedrick. And now getting tripped up is Brezovic. Minute 25 to go. That is the 6th team foul against Martinsburg. So no free throws yet for Jefferson.
Yeah, but the next one will send them into the 1-and-1, barring it being a player control foul, of course.
Taylor inbounds to Sampson. Sampson now will bring it up the floor for Jefferson. Minute 20 remains in overtime. Sampson breaks midcourt. Goes to the right baseline, wide open. Layup, no good. Ooh. Off the side of the rim, and it's out of bounds. Last off Jefferson. It is now Martinsburg ball.
That's tough.
You
got
need
the
that
open
one.
lane.
Yep.
And smoked it.
Medina to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, 17 points tonight. Now gets it back to Medina. Almost stolen. Bradley at the top of the key is fouled. Who's it against? Is it against Hedrick or Taylor?
I think Taylor was the one creating all the contact there. Hedrick was kind of close. But again, Hedrick's made it through. Gotten 2 or 3 blocks since coming back into this game with 4 fouls, too. So it hasn't turned her into a super conservative defender.
That's Taylor's 3rd, team 8th. So now Bradley did the line to shoot the 1-and-1. Free throws up and good by Bradley. She now has 13 points, and we're tied at 55 all with 1:01 to go in overtime.
Bradley's done a good job in the 4th quarter and overtime of making up ground from the first 3 quarters, really being the Hedrick show.
And she makes the second one. She now has 14 points. Martinsburg leads 56-55. Sampson with it at the left wing. Passes it to Brezovic over to Taylor at the right side. Now down into Hedrick. Kicking it out to Brezovic. Under a minute to go. Brezovic drives in. Layup. Banks it in. Jefferson now leads 57-56. 16 points for Brezovic. 40 seconds to go in overtime. Fitzpatrick with the ball. Left side layup. No good, and a foul. And it's against Olivia Hedrick. That's her 5th. Olivia Hedrick will now have to make her way to the bench. 37.2 seconds to go, and Fitzpatrick at the free throw line for Martinsburg.
That is huge. Fitzpatrick, good job to drive in there and draw that foul. Whether or not she realized it was Hedrick she was going up against, the end result is the same. She's out.
Fitzpatrick's first free throw up into the air, and good. We're tied at 57 all. It's now 18 points for Fitzpatrick.
Started off slow. I think only 4 of those came in the first half, but
yep,
big time since then.
Second free throw is good. She now has 19 points, and it's a 1-point lead at 58-57. Taylor with it, driving in the right side. Her shot's good, and the foul.
Wow.
She now has 19 points, and Jefferson retakes the lead at 59-58. And that'll send Taylor to the line.
What a game. Jasmine Taylor.
Fitzpatrick, the coach of Martinsburg, thought she traveled before it, but he didn't get the call. Free throw up. No good. Whistle blew, and it was a lane violation anyway against Jefferson. That keeps it, however, a 1-point game, and Jefferson's going to take a timeout. They'll have one remaining because you do get one in overtime.
I don't know that Coach Fitzpatrick's wrong to be upset about that. My initial thought was when I heard that whistle, it was going to be a travel. Now, I'd have to go back and look at the replay to know for sure. But he might have a case there. He might. I have to go back. That was my gut instinct when I heard that whistle.
30.8 seconds remain in this first overtime. It is Jefferson 59, Martinsburg 58. However, you have to keep in mind the senior center, 6'4", Olivia Hedrick, is on the bench as she fouled out for Jefferson.
And she has been controlling the paint, especially on defense. I think upwards of 5 blocks in this game.
Martinsburg ball after the Jefferson timeout. Medina inbounds to Bradley. Her pass trying to get back to Medina. It's tipped out of bounds by Taylor. Keeps the ball with Martinsburg. 28.2 seconds now. Full court press for Jefferson. Ball inbounded to Bradley. Bradley gets it back to Medina. Medina now pushing up the floor at midcourt. Loses her dribble. Able to get across the midcourt line. And now a timeout will be called by Martinsburg with 18.2 seconds to go, as they just wanted to get a better positioning for an inbound and draw up one final shot. 59-58. Jefferson still leading Martinsburg. A regional matchup for the ages tonight, Dylan.
Right. And it's been back and forth, but I can't stress this enough. Olivia Hedrick being out of this game, it is absolutely huge on this end of the court, especially because Hedrick has been a key force on defense, keeping Kayla Fitzpatrick from being able to get those easy shots down low when she can slash into the lane. Now she has a better opportunity. She doesn't have to deal with the 6'4" Hedrick down low.
Fitzpatrick has 19 points tonight for Martinsburg. Bradley has 14. Santa Bria has 8. Gideon has 9. Jefferson leading the way is Taylor with 19. Hedrick had 17. She's on the bench now after fouling out. Brezovic has 16. Here we go. 18.2 seconds remain in the first overtime. 59-58. Jefferson leads Martinsburg. Martinsburg ball. Gideon to inbound for the Bulldogs. Her inbound still in her hands. The pass to Bradley. It's tipped by Shanley. They get tied up. Possession arrow. Jefferson ball. Wow. 15.7 seconds now. A ball to the Cougars.
Great defense. Absolutely great. Quick whistle on the jump ball, I gotta admit, but both teams grabbed it. Oh, man, what a play.
Ball inbounded to Brezovic. Brezovic trying to run away from Gideon. Now floats a pass up to Taylor. Taylor back to Brezovic. Nobody near her. Under 10 seconds left. Nobody's going to foul. They find it to Hoyler. And now a whistle blows, and we have an intentional foul. Oh, no. It was away from the ball by Fitzpatrick, and the intentional foul is going to allow Brezovic to go to the free throw line for Jefferson. And if I'm not mistaken, since it was an intentional foul, they keep the ball.
Yep. Yeah,
nobody was near Hoyler.
I mean, partially, I guess you could say.
First free throw's good. 60-58 now, Jefferson. 17 points for Brezovic.
I guess you could partially say it's on her teammates for not fouling.
Second free throw's good.
But Fitzpatrick's got to know that you can't do an intentional foul there.
A three-pointer will only tie it, but it's Jefferson ball because of the intentional foul. 4.6 seconds to go for Jefferson. They're going to inbound. It's Brezovic in the backcourt. No foul called, even though Gideon went for it. And the ball is dribbled out. Game over. Jefferson wins 61-58 over Martinsburg. Jefferson now 6-9 overall, 3-4 in the EPAC. Martinsburg falls to 5-9, 3-3 in the EPAC. Again, Jefferson 61, Martinsburg 58, as both teams will now shake hands at midcourt, and we're going to wait for our very own Nick Verzolini to try to get Coach Smith for an interview. what a game it was, as Nick still trying to track down Coach Smith to the round of applause of the fans in attendance. And once Nick Verzolini is able to get Coach Smith, we'll send it down to him, as Nick still trying to get Coach Smith, who's hyping up his team right now after a huge win in the conference, Dylan.
Yeah, this was absolutely big for them, especially when they had a starter go down last game. They've had 3 seniors leave the team just in the middle of the season. They still need to get the chemistry in this group together, this rotation, but they got it done tonight.
Oh, it looks like Nick finally does have Coach Smith, so let's send it down to him.
Thank you, Colin and Dylan. Now down here with the head coach of the Jefferson Cougars, Damon Smith. Coach, grinded out win for your team. You're able to get that buzzer beater to get into overtime. What did you kind of tell the team on that last possession to head it to overtime? And then, once you got into overtime, what do you think kind of allowed you guys to get the win?
Well, actually, they ran a different defense than I was expecting them to. I thought they was going to run another zone, but they ran man. So we just got lucky. We had a person wide open, and she almost hit that 3, and then that was a good rebound and going up. Then the second half, overtime, we just kept grinding it out. I mean, that's the team that I've been wanting to see throughout the whole year, and we got it done tonight.
Coach, you've had some injuries. You've lost some players on the team, and you've had some tough losses due to that. How do you think that this win could potentially lift your team, especially against a Martinsburg team that's been very solid this year?
Yeah, they have been very solid. I'm hoping, and I'm praying that this definitely lifts our team, that they realize that if they play together, that that's a team that they can be. That's a team I've been waiting to see, and that's a team I told them that they can be when they play together. We've had flashes of being a really, really good team, and I thought we showed it tonight because Martinsburg is solid. They are. So I'm proud of them.
And back-to-back nights, too, you've really gotten into the point where this EPAC is very tough. I mean, Spring Mills has kind of separated themselves, but, that second spot could be anybody's. So what are you, looking for moving forward to try to make sure that it's Jefferson's spot?
Well, I've been preaching it all year that this is a marathon, not a sprint. And we can't get down on the losses that we've had. It has been a tough season, and we just got to keep grinding out, having games like this. Just keep grinding, keep showing the effort. It's like you said, it's wide open for that second spot, and why not us being in that second spot? We can still get there, but we got to grind it out just like we did tonight.
All right, Coach, thank you, and good luck the final month of the season.
Hey, thank you very much.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Nick Verzolini, as well as a congratulations to Coach Damon Smith and the Jefferson Lady Cougars getting a 61-58 win over Martinsburg in overtime. Let's now take a 2-minute break. You're tuned into West Virginia High School girls basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Hello, this is Mark Sutton of the Sutton & Janelle Law Firm. The right attorney can make all the difference in your case. That's why you should call Sutton & Janelle. We have been serving clients in West Virginia and Maryland since 1999 in the areas of family law, DUI, criminal defense, and personal injury. Sutton & Janelle works hard to obtain a favorable outcome for you at a reasonable rate with affordable payment options. Sutton & Janelle values your rights and is passionate about your success. Contact us today at suttonandjanelle.com.
Rock's Grab and Go is made fresh daily. Grab and Go, now available at Rock's local market. Rock's Grab and Go is made fresh daily. Grab and Go, now available at Rock's local market.
Hi, it's Talk Radio WRNR and TV10 Spencer Dupuis. When I got into a car accident and needed to get another vehicle, I wanted to go somewhere I could trust. So I went to the Heffley Motor Company at 993 Hedgesville Road. As a first-time car buyer, I really didn't know what to expect. But at Heffley, they treated me like family. Every step in the process was seamless. Not only did they give me a great deal, but they also helped me secure an amazing interest rate. Now I know firsthand why Heffley has such a great reputation in this community. I ride with Heffley Motor Company, so you should too.
Welcome back to Jefferson High School as we welcome you into the post-game show brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard with a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials and a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. And what a game it was. Final score, Jefferson 61, Martinsburg 58 in overtime as the Jefferson Lady Cougars now 6-9 overall, 3-4 in the EPAC. Martinsburg 5-9 overall, 3-3 in the EPAC. And Dylan, that was a fun one, tied up at both halftime and the end of regulation, as it was Hannah Shanley able to force overtime after a three-pointer that just missed at almost the buzzer. But it was Shanley getting the rebound and putting it up in the paint with half a second left to make it 51-all to force a thrilling overtime in which we saw Hedrick get out. But it didn't matter.
Jefferson just did the little things right at the end of the game. Boxing out. That's all it took. You miss an open three, could have won you the game in regulation. But the little things. You box out, you rebound, put it back up. Get yourself that opportunity to get to overtime and play it out. And without your best player for the last minute or so of overtime, it doesn't matter either. Huge game from Jasmine Taylor in this one. Stepping up. We knew that Hedrick and we knew that Brezovic were both going to have big games with all of the changes to this roster, this rotation, this lineup that Jefferson had in this game. But Jasmine Taylor was the one that I think that's who really got it done to make sure that they put the Cougars over to the top when they were able to get this win.
And on the other side for Martinsburg, it was the little things that didn't happen for a long period of time in overtime. Nobody went to foul, allowed 30, 40 seconds to dwindle off the clock until Fitzpatrick did finally foul with 4.5 seconds left. But her foul was on the wrong person. It was somebody that was away from the play, didn't have the ball, so the intentional foul at 59-58 allowed Brezovic to go to the free throw line. She made her 2 free throws, and then because it was an intentional foul, Jefferson gets the ball back and wins the game.
Yep, 2 shots in the ball on an intentional foul. That's something players just have to get instilled in their mind. Even if your teammates aren't fouling, you cannot foul that person away from the ball. That's not going to fix the problem. That's not going to get you those two shots and then you get the ball back. Absolutely not what happened. So, I mean, Martinsburg just wasn't attacking the ball there at the end of the game. You got to go. You got to extend this game out. Foul somebody. Make free throws. At the high school level, there's plenty of players who can, miss a free throw or two, and it'll get you an opportunity to get the ball back and try to force another overtime, get the win in this overtime. And it just didn't get it done. But it was, there was a lot of things that added up to that. It wasn't the main. It's not the only reason Martinsburg lost. It's just little things here and there. It's a game of inches, you could say. So, in the end, Cougars played really well.
To counterpoint the point you just made, however, Jefferson was actually perfect tonight from the free throw line. 8 of 8.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a big difference. Let's now get into our game stats since we just mentioned free throws, which are brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers, West Virginia's largest Pandora retailer on Route 11 south of Inwood, taking care of you like nobody's business. And let's start with Martinsburg. 19 points for Kayla Fitzpatrick, 14 for Cadence Bradley. Anaya Gideon had 9 points. Tiana Sanabria had 8 points. And those 4 that I just mentioned were the only 4 that scored in the second half as well as overtime. Everybody else that scored only came in the first half, and it was only 3 more players. And Strovo with 4 points, Medina with 2, and then Nelson with 2. Over to Jefferson now. The leading scorer tonight for the Cougars was Taylor with 19 points. Brezovic had 18. Hedrick had 17. And then Shanley had 5 points. And rounding out the scoring was Powell Utley with 2 points. So there we go. That was your game stats again, brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers. Let's now get into our awards for tonight and start off with the moment of the game, brought to you by Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group. Buying or selling a home, call 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com.
Well, there's a couple different big candidates, but I'm going to give it to that putback at the end that got us to overtime. You missed the 3, but Martinsburg doesn't quite box out like they should, and you get the offensive rebound, put it right back up, half a second left, send this game to overtime, and you get yourself the win. When you thought, when that ball was going off the rim after that missed 3, that it was over and you lost the game.
Let's now get our rejection of the game, brought to you by Cody's Auto Body at 851 Wilson Street, Martinsburg. Family-owned, offering superior customer service and great pricing for a job done by experienced certified technicians. Phone 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page.
Well, I got to give it to Olivia Hendrick. She got a block with just over a minute left in regulation before she ended up eventually fouling out in overtime. She was a huge presence on the offensive and especially the defensive end. Just blocks all over the place. I think 5 blocks tonight for Hedrick, and that was the most timely of them.
Last but not least, our player of the game, brought to you by the Kelly Allstate Insurance Company. For all of your insurance needs, call Gary Kelly at 304-263-4596 or stop by 724 Lakeview Drive in Martinsburg.
Got to go with Jasmine Taylor. Like we said, we knew Hedrick and we knew Brezovic were going to have big games, but who was going to be that other person outside of those 2 that stepped up? Hedrick ends up fouling out after a big first half especially, ends up in overtime. And who gets the key basket at the end, the and one, puts them up, and they never give the lead back? It's Jasmine Taylor.
All right, there you have it. That'll wrap things up here from the Cougar Cage at Jefferson High School. Again, final score, the Jefferson Lady Cougars get the win over the Martinsburg Lady Bulldogs, 61-58 in overtime. For Spencer Dupuis, who you are about to hear from shortly, as well as our camera crew for tonight, Nick Verzolini and Gerald Wright, Dylan Bishop alongside me, I'm Colin McLaughlin, signing off for Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV10 until Thursday evening, where it is Martinsburg and Spring Mills doing battle in high school girls basketball. Have a great rest of your night.
If you or someone you know suffers from the disease of addiction, help is available from the Berkeley County Quick Response Team, with peer recovery coaches and support promptly to the homes of those who've recently experienced an overdose. This collective effort towards recovery brings resources and services to the community, including naloxone and treatment options. Call 304-267-1313 or visit the Berkeley County Recovery Resource Center, 400 West Stevens Street, Martinsburg. The Berkeley County Quick Response Team is funded through a DHHR grant with the Berkeley Morgan County Health Department.
You've been in an accident. The choice of a lawyer may be the biggest decision you make for you and your family's future. At Mansion Ferretti, we offer a free consultation and no fees until we win your case. Call us today and protect your future. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
Welcome in to the Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Company post-game and one scoreboard show. The Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Company, when it comes to your home, auto, farm, or business, they're trusted, reliable, and experienced. Call them at 304-263-0809 or go to fmiwv.com. We'll wrap this up quickly. So on the radio side, we can get you the Mountaineers in action tonight at number 15 TCU, but an overtime thriller here in girls EPAC hoops. With Jefferson knocking off Martinsburg 61-58, the Lady Cougars improved to 6-9, and they're 3-4 in the EPAC, while the Lady Bulldogs fell to 5-10 and 3-3 in the conference, a wide open conference behind the team that also played tonight here in Spring Mills. They knocked off Mercersburg Academy out of Pennsylvania 48-38. They're now 13-0. They're back in action on Thursday, as Colin mentioned. We'll have the game for you right here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Pregame around 7 p.m. Just one boys game tonight. That's Musselman. They fell to University 67-59. Troy Woolston did make his debut for the Applemen this season after getting hurt at the end of the football season. The Applemen are now 4-8 on the season. They return to action on Friday at Hedgesville. And then we'll look at some commitments for you here in high school football. In the EPAC, Martinsburg receiver Jameer Hunter announced right before tonight's contest, around 6 p.m., that he is committed to Fairmont State. His teammate Roman Pearson is committed to Shepherd. He will join Jefferson receivers Isaiah Fritz and Spencer Powell. And Hedgesville's Tanner Matthew commits to West Virginia Wesley. And obviously stay tuned tomorrow. We'll have more. We'll also be out at a couple of high schools to cover the national signing days. But that is what it is here. We'll check some other college hoop scores. With about 13 minutes left in the second. It's a 10-point lead for number 8 Kansas over number 7 Kansas State. And then with 11:33 left in the contest, number 24 UConn has a 61-52 lead over DePaul. At the half, it's number 4 Alabama 43, Vanderbilt 15. Number 21 Indiana has a 7-point lead over unranked Maryland, 22-15 with 9:18 left in the first. Later on tonight, it'll be at 11 p.m. on CBS Sports Network. Number 22 San Diego State at Nevada. Games that have wrapped up. Unranked Boston College knocks off number 20 Clemson 62-54. Number 23 Miami handles business against unranked Virginia Tech 92-83 here. Last check in the Mountaineers game, which we'll get you to on radio momentarily. It is a 7-point lead for number 15 TCU, 22-15 with just under 7 minutes left to go. And that will do it for me here in the studio. It has been the Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Company post-game and one scoreboard show. When it comes to your home auto farmer business, they're trusted, reliable, and experienced. Call them at 304-0809 or go to FMIWV.com. For a crew tonight, our intern Gerald Wright, Nick Verzolini, Dylan Bishop, Colin McLaughlin. I'm Spencer Dupuis signing off. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the Sports Mix at 12:08.
You've been listening to West Virginia High School Basketball. Today's game has been brought to you by
Bechtel Jewelers, Brown's Funeral Home and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, CMA Honda of Winchester, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, the Mirius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, Hagerstown Ford, Orsini's Home Store, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, and WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Center.
For the continued excitement of high school, college, and NBA basketball, keep it tuned to Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. All rights reserved.